Hello everybody and welcome to this evening's Evesports EGL One 2020 main event. We are here with the lower bracket once again with a match between WRG versus Team Mist. It's a fairly one-sided affair going straight into it. Got the likes of WRG who don't really need much of an introduction, some very hard-hitting individuals in that team going up against Team Mist, sort of one of the more up-and-coming teams in the scene at the moment. Definitely got their task set up for them tonight. Joined by Mr. Wookie Triple XL as always. How you doing, my man?
Good afternoon. Welcome to upper or lower bracket. Sorry, round three, lower bracket game. as you've mentioned, WRG with a bit of a player shuffle into something a lot more familiar, as you've said. A lot of firepower over on their side. Custom and Tuckbook, who are long-term teamies, and then on Mist on the other side. I think what I'm looking for from them today is just some Windows 10 shenanigans. He was very strong in all of their games, pretty much. He's definitely their impact player.
Yeah.
But as you've mentioned, this is WRG's game to lose at this point.
Yeah,
But,
I think that's...
I'm being rude. How are you, Matt?
That's okay, Reese. I'm good. I'm looking forward to tonight's match. I always like an underdog game. I always like to see if these up-and-coming teams in South Africa, how much progress they've made, because it's quite nice to test yourself against, one of the better teams in the country. You get to gauge exactly where you're at, sort of how much progress you're making, how far away you are from reaching that sort of level as well. So there's quite a few storylines that Team Mist can actually take away from this. It's not like, we're going up against such a good team that we stand no chance and we can't really benefit from this at all. They can learn a lot from these sorts of occasions. Playing against some of the top teams in officials, it's different to just scrimming top teams as well. So I think that there's a good learning opportunity here for Team Mist, while, like I said, I do think it is going to be a fairly one-sided affair. WRG just got the household names in South African CS, as you already alluded to, with the likes of Custom and Tuckbook. I'm going to throw Spaz and Tianki in there as well. Just, four very well-known players in South African CS, and they've sort of come together now in this WRG team. Of course, the one name missing there is Kyle or Elike. And he's taken a bit of a back seat, I believe. And WRG have now brought Ninjask into their ranks. Now, Ninjask was previously the coach of Energy. He actually worked with Tianki in that team as well as the coach. And he left when both Tianki and Lichlord left that Energy team as well. So now Ninjask has actually shifted into the active roster into WRG. So he's gone from coach now into a player position. He said he was keen to play again. So cool to see him finding himself on a roster. And he's also taking over the reins as IGL. So Reese, that's quite a difficult thing to do, to come into a new team that's not fully established, but there's already some structure to it, and now you have to take over as the IGL and sort of give it your own take on the whole team and try and get them to buy into your idea and approach.
I think what's going to help him along a lot is like that pair of like Custom and Tuckbook who have been on multiple teams. X Big Five, for instance, they played like a full year plus just on that team alone. So
yeah,
with that structure, those sort of things helping him, he can almost just be like, you two go do this, and they'll sort themselves out as far as the micromanagement amongst themselves go, which I think will help him a lot. And having worked with Tianki will obviously help him as well. I think the only variable for him that what might be on the map will be his own space actually in the team, more so than anything else. Who actually would lurk for this team? It probably will be Spaz, right? More so than Tianki. I think you'd want Tianki more in a firing position, like as a support role or something.
Yeah, he's going to be like your guy who's setting everybody up and helping get the team in position. So I think that there's a few options. I think that Custom's probably picked up the AWP for this team. I think I'm hoping Tuckbook's going to be playing a bit of like a star role. Maybe he might be doing the entry fragging. So I guess, it might be Ninjask or Spaz who are doing the lurking. Sometimes we do see cases where IGLs actually take over the lurk role for themselves. I'm not really a big fan of it. I prefer the IGL being in and amongst the entry pack, seeing exactly what's going on. Because if things are starting to go wrong, and if you're lurking as the IGL, you can only really, make decisions based off of what things people are telling you and, relaying the information through to you. Whereas if you're actually on that side of the map and you're part of the executes and you're seeing everything that's happening, you'll have a much better understanding of the situation. So we'll see how that ends up playing out. I'm not entirely sure. Like I said, Custom should be on the AWP though, and that's exciting because Custom is like one of the players who can just do literally anything and everything in South African CS. Anchor, entry, star player role, AWP, support, doesn't really matter. Desert Eagle is like one of the best Eagle players in South Africa. Personally, I'm a big fanboy of Custom. I'm just going to just get it out there in the beginning because you're going to hear me like singing his praises a lot tonight. I'm going to be. I just love. I love hyping up Custom when he has great players. Massive fan of him. Great guy as well. So yeah, looking forward to seeing him playing, and I'm looking forward to seeing him back in the main role of the AWP holder. Now, I'm assuming he is. I don't see anybody else in the team who would be a better candidate unless they've changed something drastically. But I'm just really keen to see Custom on the main AWP again because it's just such an entertaining factor. He's like one of those really solid AWPers who just does all the basics really well, and he can bring out those like flashy rounds when it's required as well.
For sure, couldn't agree more with that. But just to speak a little bit about our boys over on the other side of Mist.
Yeah, let's talk about Team Mist here.
They've had actually quite an interesting game against Critical 5, which is now Zion Esports, which actually was a little looser and then finished a bit tighter. They went to 16-10, 16-13. And Zion, Critical 5 that's become Zion is not exactly a pushover team. As you said, they themselves are an up-and-comer and definitely can push into top 10, top 8 sort of territory in South Africa. So to tangle with them, maybe Mist brings something that they've learned from those games. Windows 10, definitely their biggest impact player. Tweaks and K have been known to throw in occasionally with him, but he was head and shoulders above the rest. Very high ADR as well. Even when he didn't convert, he just puts in really good damage, and also very nasty with a D. He actually did a really cool 3K, which we had in a highlight video from that match, which was like he just basically stood on a site and delivered some 50 cal dental. So we'll have to see if he can maybe make some highlight reels happen, but when you're relying on one guy and across from him, like you say, you've got a custom Tukbook Tianki Spaz situation on the other side. If any one of them pop off, it's a problem, and you're immediately up the Pooh Creek variably with paddles this deep, and you're still gonna sink. So let's see if Mist can bring some thunder today. It would be nice to make it interesting at least.
Yeah, I definitely think you touched on something which is a good point there, that we sort of see from Team Mist. We sort of like an individual skill approach to the game and to their match against Critical 5, where Critical 5 sort of had a more team-based approach, and that's actually what got them across the line in the end of that game. But there were moments when Team Mist actually just looked like they had quite a lot of firepower behind them, and they were able to just land some like really nice shots. You get some good entries, get them into the bomb sites, but they couldn't like consistently do it because they were relying on these like sort of these quite aggressive players to work for them. So I'm keen to see how it's going to be working out tonight. I mean, they're going to be punished quite a lot, I think, if their teamwork's not up to scratch against WRG. If they leave any, holes in the defense, WRG are going to be exploiting that. I'm sure WRG are going to be very busy on their CT side as well. So if Team Mist on their T side don't make sure that they're covering, all the choke points, they might get punished by that. It's definitely a symptom that we see in games where there's like quite a disparity in the skill level between the two teams. Normally the team who's the big favorite tends to get a bit more aggressive. They want to sort of assert their dominance on the team that they're going up against. They want to show them they're the better team, that they believe they're the better team. So I'm sure we're going to be seeing WRG looking to sort of stamp their authority on this game. And Team Mist are going to have to stop that as quickly as they can, because WRG is one of those teams who can run away once they get the momentum. Players like Tukbook and Custom, once they've got the momentum behind them, they're very tough to stop.
No, for sure. And if both of them are popping off simultaneously, it's almost as well written on the wall as Murder She Wrote. So yeah, look, it's a big task for Mist. I think they can they should, if anything, use it as a learning experience, like you said, just to test their mettle against a much better looking WRG squad. I have to say, this is their best lineup that I've seen, just on raw firepower that I've seen in quite a while. They've
there was that team at the end of last year with like Doru and Mango that was like also had quite a lot of firepower behind them. That team that competed at Comic-Con in 2019. But outside of that,
that's over a year ago, man.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like that's to go a full year with I think it was quite a knock to lose, especially Doru, You know, he's just a monster and
Well,
can and Mango, I suppose, as well, in
yeah,
the same
that's what I was gonna
breath.
say. It
Actually,
kind of tells you the potential they had in that team when they had Doru, who ended up in ATK, the best team in South Africa now by a country mile, and Mango, who went to Goliath and then to Energy. So the other two top teams in South Africa both saw how much crazy potential he had. So like that
yeah.
WRG team was sort of just like on the cusp of being one of the top 3 teams in the country if they'd stuck together a bit longer. But obviously you understand why the players made the decisions they did, because it just was like unlocking the next stage of their career, basically. Just saying, like, there was a lot of potential in that WRG team. Now they've got themselves a bit more of like a consistent roster. They've got a few of like the old guard players here, with the likes of Custom, Tuckbook, and Tianki. Like, these guys have been around for a while now. They've got quite a lot of experience behind them, and actually Hex Spaz has got a ton of experience as well. I mean, even though he's one of the younger players in the team, he's actually been around for like 4 years already, competing in top teams in South African CS. So there's a lot of experience on this WRG team. Ninja's he's had his fair share of competition, but he definitely hasn't been at the top flight as long as his teammates have. And he's going to be taking over as the IGL, so that's interesting from his perspective as well. You know, one of the least experienced players in the team, but he's going to be trying to get everybody else buying into his idea and his approach.
Yeah, for sure. I was having a sudden flashback in a memory, Matt. I'm going to take you back to about 2005, I think it was, about then.
Damn.
One of my childhood friends that I made in Lanning, Juan Mr. Joel, goes by Joker BB. He played quite infamously in an APG squad. Back then, he was huge into 1.6.
Okay.
And we went to an event at Mayhem when I think, I don't want to lie, but I think Detrony was about 13 or 14 at that LAN, bro. And but in that team, Eternal Conflict was Custom.
Okay.
And I think it was Custom, Lighters, Quan, Joker, and I can't remember who the last guy was. I think it was Nuke. I want to say him. But Custom was in that team. And that was like 2004, 2005. Okay, so Custom's been competing on the top level for close to 15 years. He's kind of like a forest in this environment here. So yeah, man, it's going to be a good one. It does look like the guys are nearly ready for this.
Yeah, we've got a bit of a tech issue that we've been resolving, that we're still looking to just sort out at the moment on the server end. It's already being worked on though by our technician, so it won't be too long before things are restored and we jump into the game. But Reese, so Team Mist, what do they have to do this evening to try and come up against the might of WRG? You know, considering the massive gap between these two teams right now. This is a lower bracket game. Whoever loses this is eliminated from the competition. Everybody expects WRG to win this. What can Team Mist actually do to try and, perhaps make a bit of an upset, maybe pick up a map, do some damage?
I would say extreme teamwork. Throw the kitchen sink. Throw the rule book out the window as well.
Okay.
You can't play conventional CS against this team. They've played way too much of that. If you try pug strats and that sort of stuff, you're going to get smashed. It's just not even a question. They know those sort of flashes and those sort of smokes and those sort of angles. Yeah. Like, it's breathing for most of the WRG team, right? So I think unpredictability, sudden change of pace as well, like extremely aggressive and then nothing, and then normal sort of setup here and there, and then something completely random will probably work. Kind of like, that's the only thing I could see them doing that could take down WRG.
Okay.
If Windows 10, gets backed up by anybody literally on his team, like if K also has a decent game, it will help a lot. But if they, like you say, if there's any sort of momentum that WRG is building up and you are put in a position where your loss bonus, you're going to have to save on the after even a full loss bonus, you're pretty screwed, I think. Like, they're just going to even hold W at you and just raw aim you. Like, everybody in this team has good aim.
Yes. Yeah, that is a situation that there's no easy route through this 4-team must at all. They're certainly
No.
going to have to give it everything they've got. Not even that might be enough, dare I say, guys. We're going to be getting into this game momentarily. Let me let you in on a little secret, though. We have got a giveaway that we're going to be doing sometime throughout this evening. We're going to be doing a clutch mouse pad, 800 millimeters by 400 millimeters. It takes up the entire desk, all the space you need, and then a little bit more on top of that. And we're going to be giving that away sometime throughout the evening. We're going to give you guys a keyword, and you're just going to have to type the keyword in chat. And once you've done that, you're just going to be entered into the giveaway. And it's as simple as that. We'll be rolling it throughout the game and announcing the winner here on stream as well. So you can look forward to that, as well as the game here. Team Mist vs WRG will be starting momentarily. Yeah, of course, if you're just joining us now, there's a bit of a roster change for WRG. We've seen Eli has taken a bit of a backseat, and Ninjask has come into his position. He was the coach of Energy previously, and now he's moved into the active playing role. He wanted to be a bit more of a player, and I get it, right? You know, being a coach, watching people perform all the time, seeing them playing, and just not being able to, you know, actually quench that thirst yourself.
Yeah, the hunger got to him, man. Definitely. He's had enough of top-down CS. He's had enough of playing the strategy game. Command and Conquer style CS isn't doing it for him anymore. So he wanted to obviously get back in the seat, and it could turn out very, very well for him. A really, really prevalent example of that in esports is actually Seb from that famous OG Dota team.
Yeah.
You know, now it's a completely different game, I hear you, but 2018, 2019, the things that team did with him moving out of being a coaching spot and getting that player's hunger back, you know, resulted in them winning back-to-back to TRs, which no team has ever done, ever. And I think it's going to be a while before we see any team do that again. Well, we have to see it is actually coming up in the near future. But
I mean, is it? We don't really know.
We don't really know. Hopefully,
I mean, they've taken everybody's money for the compendium, but they don't. They still don't even know if they're even going to have an event to do with that money. But they got the money.
Peace, Kevin. I'm on Team Volvo.
Hey, I mean, I'm not judging, guys. Don't get me wrong. I've also got the compendium. I already bought it as well. But I'm part of the problem. But we really are suckers for Gaben, aren't we? Our Lord and Savior.
Back to our CS related point.
Yes, sorry. I thought we were on a I thought we were on a podcast for a second here, Reese.
It could be. It very well could be. I mean, there's some very
feeling like it's starting to turn into one. I mean, it has been nearly 20 minutes now that we've been rattling off for. So let's hope that the players are going to be, or rather the players are already. For once, it's actually not the players. It's always the players that we're waiting. It's actually not. The server needs to be repaired. So hopefully that should be sorted any moment now. And they'll be jumping in. Ninjas, Reese, what else did you want to say?
But back to what we were saying, actually. Segue into the Astralis changes and the scenario of Esotag, you know, going off, having such a massive tournament, helping Astralis pick up the major, and then that ancestral zip spot sort of gets refilled. I still just feel like Magisk was actually, for Esotag, would have been a better scenario, but that camaraderie in the team is so well forged at this point. I mean, as that standard roster, you know, with your Glaive, Zip, Magisk, Tree, you know, that's been, the AWPer, man. Why am I forgetting?
Device?
Dude? Oh, Device. I can see his face in my head.
Beautiful Tom Cruise.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The pretty boy of Danish CS. But that core has been, is institutional at this point. It's almost like the 4 rings of the Audi logo, and separating them is the thing.
I mean, they are the greatest CSGO team or perhaps even the greatest CS team that's ever played the game. Like, they've won 4 majors, they've dominated all the competition that's come their way. They've been knocked down and gotten back up again. Like, they've checked off like all the like the objectives to sort of be considered part of that conversation. Like, there's a few other teams that you throw in the discussion as well. But guys, I've got great news because we are about to jump into the game here on Dust 2. Nick, take us into the game here. I'm sure people are tired of seeing our ugly mugs on the screen. Let's show them some Counter-Strike here on the lovely Dust 2, which actually isn't much more aesthetically pleasing, if I can actually say so myself. The good old Dust 2. At least it looks a bit better than it used to. But it's the same old boring map that it's always been. However, with the players that we have on the server, we'll be surely going to be having some entertaining Counter-Strike on display. And yes, the GLHFs are in chat. We're going to be jumping in now. So, looks like Mr. going to be starting on the CT side here, Reese. WRG on the T side. That's going to be pretty tough for Mr. to try and sustain these waves of attacks that are going to be coming through time and time again all over the map. I mean, I personally think the CT side is going to be a lot more challenging here for Mist than the T side, where they can sort of group up and move around the map as a unit.
No, well, when I thought about it earlier, just to play devil's advocate, I think it's better for them to chase, to defend first, simply because pistol round USP is obviously better than Glock, especially at range. So holding things like long, especially early, are a lot easier when you have that range advantage. And you just need to be careful of like short, really, and like a B rush, right? Are the two things that if you're not at range and prepared, they can go very badly for you on the pistol round. And with their prowess on the pistol, I think it suits Mist strength more than it hurts them just for the opening few rounds. If they can string 2 or 3 together, say if they can win 3 out of the first 4, I can actually see this being like a 9-6 half, even in WRG's favor, which is a little bit better for them, because the thing with this WRG team is I can feel it in my gut that their movements to close around the areas and just choke is going to be exceptionally good. So it just makes it feel like on T they're going to be a bit more of a mouse than a cat, whereas CT gives them that sort of opportunity, at least in the beginning. I think once rifles and stuff are coming out, Custom's got an AWP, it's a horrible place to be. Just
it's definitely going to be making life very tough for Mist, that's for sure. Reese, unfortunately, it was a false start. The gun fired, but somebody set off before they were supposed to, so we have to pull everybody back once again and just figure out the issue, iron it out once again. So the story of Hayes and Wookie Triple XL, the podcast continues here on the Evesports YouTube channel. Sorry guys, apologies for the delays. I'm sure we'll be going anytime soon. We have got Casper working relentlessly to resolve the issue. We all know that Casper's pretty good at what he does, so I'm sure it won't be too long before he figures out the problem and gets on top of it. But until then, we'll just continue to talk all things Counter-Strike.
Yeah, so I think something you were saying that I'd like you to actually expand on a bit here is the MRBR team and what's going on in their camp.
Well, I mean, first of all, let's just get a shameless plug in here. I made a YouTube video, MIBR's Fall from Grace. If you go check my channel out, Hayes Castings on YouTube, you'll see the video where basically I just document how far this team has come. You know, the core group of Fallen, Fur, Taco, these individuals who have been together back in the days of Luminosity Gaming. Even before then, they were called Kaboom. So these guys have been playing together for such a long time. They actually have like a crazy storyline, actually quite similar to like a South African background where they sort of like all doom and gloom and there's no hope, and then they get this like glimmer and they got no support, so the community supports them and they get elevated to a point where they start winning competitions and making money and getting sponsors, and then they go on to win the 2 back-to-back majors, right? Under SK and LG. They have like this crazy fairy tale story and they become like one of the world's most popular teams. Everybody loved them. You know, Fallen was like the godfather of CS. And then coming through into like 2019, you know, they signed for MIBR from SK, and it was like a big transition because it's the Made in Brazil brand being brought back into the Counter-Strike landscape, which hadn't been around for a long time, and it's a very big brand. And they take over this, you know, monolithic Counter-Strike team. and this team just doesn't produce results whatsoever. They just like, as time's going on, you know, their stonks just continue to decrease. Things just continues to get worse and worse for them. They're not picking up any results. In fact, they're losing more games than they're winning. And then coupled with like, it's fine to just like lose games, and it's like VP style where you just sort of like disintegrate into becoming a bit irrelevant. But then they started like having these like really questionable acts where they were like, they had that situation with Furia where they were like forcing them to reset around that they actually, Furia didn't have to. There was like Fur's homophobic and racial slurs and statements that he was making. There was Fallen calling out Leaf as a cheater on social media as soon as the game finished. Like a 16-year-old, he just records like some fishy clips and then he goes and uploads that to Twitter. So like they just became like super entitled. They felt like the world owed them everything and they could just do whatever they wanted. Didn't really give it a crap in the world. And so that was just sort of like they just continued to decrease until they were losing to like tier 3 teams, tier 4 teams in Europe. It was like literally the end of the road. So they ended up breaking up, or like the organization finally made the decision to drop a couple of players to drop the core of Fur and Taco. And then Fallen left as a result as well, because he said he's not okay with the changes. So it was just KNG and TRK left in the roster. And then they brought in 3 of these other players, these up-and-coming Brazilian players, VSM, Leo, DRK, and Lucas, who's, of course, a fairly more well-known player. And last night, they played against Astralis, and they just looked so much more convincing. They looked so much hungrier. They were so much passionate. They were shouting and laughing and just loving the occasion and loving the opportunity to play against Astralis. And they took it to 3 maps. They actually should have won the series. So it was night and day, the contrast between the 2 different MIBR outfits. And it's really exciting now to see this team in action, because they seem like they've got way more potential than what they had before. So there we go. Boom. Clip it, record it. Now you know everything about MIBR. If you don't, at me on Twitter and I'll tell you again.
He'll type it out at 100 character messages for each one. It might be one of 23 tweet longer on Twitter, but it's going to be worth it, I think, just to get the education. The one other thing I actually want to pick your brain about, now that we have some time here, is what do you think, do you think if the Stewie 2K, NAF, Elige, Nitro, Liquid setup had stayed together, do you think they could have got back on top?
No, I think that roster had reached its peak and was just going to like continue to degrade from there. I don't think they were able to reinvent themselves as a roster, so they'd been found out, and no one was really having the same impact they were when they were that like really dominant team in 2018, like in 2019. Like Elige had dropped off a lot, Twister dropped off a lot, Stewie was like struggling so much. So I think they definitely had to make a change, and I think bringing Grim in has like injected a lot of fresh blood into the team. And they've brought Moses in as the coach as well. And he's also, brings a very fresh take on the approach. So I think it's cool. I'm excited. There's two like sort of problems with Liquid that I'm keen to see how, or like challenges they have to overcome. And it's the fact that they don't have like an out and out IGL, like Stewie's taking over the IGL role. And if you had like told anybody 3 years ago that Stewie's going to be the IGL of like a top 2 team in America, they probably wouldn't have believed you. But here he is. And the other problem is that they don't have a proper AWPer. They don't have a dedicated AWPer in the AWP role. So that's another issue as well. But guys, let me just let me just flip and pause on the conversation here, because we're finally jumping into the game. My goodness gracious me, we're going to be going into the pistol round here as Mist are taking on WRG. We apologize for all the technical issues, guys, and thank you so much for sticking around with us. Promise you the Counter-Strike will be worth it one way or another. This will be an entertaining game.
And the dot goes are happening in the match. The match has been unpaused. The timer is ticking down. It is finally time. It is going live. We have the pistol round coming up.
There we go. Let's go.
A load of util coming through from them.
Wow.
So 2 flashes, a molly, and a smoke. And then on the other side of the T, they've got 2 flashes or 3 flashes and smoke. So good entry setup for them at least. And it looks like they're going to be pressuring towards B. And over here, it's just the man K with 2 flashes and no armor. So he is a little bit weak to those attacks, and QWERTY in mid, and a bunch of guys through to A long. I wish they would almost leave Windows 10 here by himself, but the information has come through that something is happening towards mid, and WRG starts to make the push, and QWERTY here with everything to play for, he gets absolutely destroyed with a one-tap headshot coming through from Custom. Custom picks up his second as he pushes through onto the B bomb site. And they are going to secure the site, and more than likely the round for free. The B bomb site still a bit of a terror to do a retake on. And the 3 CTs all coming in from the mid side. It is the easier of the 2 areas to come in from. There are a couple of Ts in towards the tunnels area, so guys are not going to be able to do flanks, and there's going to be a lot of info repeats coming through from there. Tweaks goes in first. He does get a kill. Windows 10 gets one, but it's not going to be enough because the guys from WRG are going to clean up with 3 coming through from the last round. So good economic kickoff for them.
Some nice damage being done there by Mist, and you could just see that the fact that purely that WRG had so many players in the surplus there is what actually got them across the line. Even though Mist were able to find 2 quick kills, it didn't really make much of a difference. They still had 3 other players on the bomb site, so WRG kicking off things with a round win after that elongated break, just shifting into gear now. Of course, everybody was just sort of waiting. So, I mean, I was wondering if there's going to be a bit of rust on the gears while everybody warms back into the affair. But there were some nice clean shots in that round. So it seems like everybody's still raring to go. The engines are still warm. Going to be seeing a 4-spy here from Mist. So they've got 5 upgraded pistols, 4 Desert Eagles, and a 5.7. And everybody has head armor, smoke, and an HE grenade. So, I mean, Mist just looking to try and find some fancy shots here with the Desert Eagle to win them the round. But I'm not a massive fan of this. I would have preferred to have seen maybe like a scout or 2 in the mix, maybe some more emphasis on util. But let's see. I feel like I said that last time when they played against Critical 5, Reese. I feel like this exact same thing happened, and they won the round with the Desert Eagles. So let me just be a little bit more cautious this time.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, that was after a huge effort by Windows 10 getting a 3K from the middle of the site. So we'll have to see, but WRG starts now making a move onto short. They have announced their presence over there. Tweaks has got a one-on-one with Chanchi, Mr. Tianki. If he could win that, it would help his team out for sure with some info and some good positioning. And he's going to press the issue, but he's going to get his head taken off. Now they're going to push in from short, and it's going to be Tuckwalker who takes first contact. He manages to get a kill. Windows 10 in the same spot he got the 3K from. He does manage to pick up the first, but he's going to get pressured and taken down. So WRG are going to secure the site for the loss of 1 player. They've got a couple guys coming up behind who have announced their presence. So QWERTY and K now to try and do a retake here. Almost wish they would save the armor and the pistols, like you said. Maybe you pick up a scout in the next round. They are going to push the issue. WRG with really good patience and set up over here. Custom puts QWERTY away as if it was too easy, and he gets another one.
That's such a waste from Mist. Just both of those players unnecessarily hanging around. I mean, they're the ones who need to be saving their weapons, and yet it's almost like they were just looking for some exit frags before they were going to be saving. There was obviously no chance they were going to be actually getting onto the bomb site there realistically, so I'm not sure what they were hanging around for. They give up an upgraded pistol, and they give up head armor as well. So that means they're going to have next to nothing coming in the way of weaponry into this next round. WRG starting things off quite cleanly here. There were a couple of opportunities for those Desert Eagles to find some frags, but Mist weren't clinical enough with their shots. So unfortunately, they weren't able to capitalize on those opportunities. As we just have a quick pause here from WRG. Tuckborg just resolving an issue quickly. But it seems like WRG have pitched up. Of course, this is Mist's map pick. We're going to be heading into... What's our next map, Reese? You want to remind me there?
Nuke.
And then okay, there we go.
I think it was...
Oh, no, third map's irrelevant. We're not going to a third map.
But yes, if we did, it was Marage.
Just joking. I'm just being an edgelord. Yeah, so going to Nuke next, that is going to be a massive ask for Mist, considering that there's going to be way more structure and the communication is going to be at a higher standard on the side of WRG. And generally, the team with the better teamwork and communication and structure is the team who's going to be successful on Nuke. So that's a scary prospect for Mist. So they definitely, if they're going to be standing a chance here in the series, they need to pick up Dust 2. Maybe they can sort of take that puggy approach into Mirage again. If they can just sort of look to try and take the fight to WRG. That approach won't work on Nuke, but if they can get across the line here on Dust somehow, maybe they can keep themselves alive going into Mirage as well.
I just want to see them do a full mid push 3 times in a row like they did the last time. And now they're doing something actually, some short shenanigans over here. They are going to boost up basically the whole team by the looks of things onto short, who are just going to now wait and hope that someone does push down mid. And it's a good spot to be in, honestly. There's a good molly there that's going to stop them from doing a stack, a tower of guns. Unfortunately for our viewing experiences. But look at WRG, they're just pushing straight through mid here, getting huge amounts of info. Hey guys, nobody is at home. So maybe we go A, maybe they stack in B. Let's have a look. And now they're going to walk into the stack. It's going to be Chunchi, takes first contact. He gets taken down by Windows 10. Custom comes around with his gun, but he's going to take huge amounts of damage for the trade. Spaz gets 2 quick ones, though, with the Mac 10 to restore some normality into this round. And now it's just QWERTY and G-Spot with some P-Twice 50s who are going to have to contest over here. They are in a good position to do some damage. They probably haven't been found out here from CT just yet. And Custom's low, so maybe they can get some damage in and maybe drop another gun, which would be preferential for them at this point in time. They're going to push up short and almost catch Spaz off guard, and they do actually. G-Spot's going to get a nice dink onto him, but now it's QWERTY taking on Ninjask, and Ninjask is just going to play it safe, make sure he picks up the kill. Nothing out of the norm there, really.
Well, I mean, there was actually a chance there for Mist, because in the end, WRG do actually start making their way towards that stack, and they look to actually take the fight with the stack, even though they saw the number of players. WRG think instead of rotating out quickly towards the vacant side of the map, they want to just take the fight to Mist, and it works out for them. Could have been a risky one, was a risky one, but they come out on top regardless. So now we're going to be seeing a fast long take coming through here from WRG. All 4 players making their way out immediately, and off the back of that, they push Mist back into the bomb site. WRG have so many options available here as well. They've gotten a player into pit, that's Chanchi. He's gotten himself all the way in already. And with so much time left on the clock here, they don't actually have to commit to this long take. They can still go back. They can make their way up short and sort of split their one to A. They can, pull a mid to B from here, because look at how heavily Mist have already responded to this push from WRG. They've already got a player on short. They've got a number of players in CT. They're all in transition. Nobody really knows where to hold right now. It's looking like Mist. Okay, now they've committed. They've got 2 players on short, and it's come through just in time as well as WRG are making their way up, but it's Custom who finds both of the entries clean as you like, getting the job done. And they're just going to continue to surge on the same bomb side off the back of those entries. Tuckbook chimes in with one of his own, and it's easy as you like for WRG as they just force their way onto the same bomb site. Doesn't matter how many players Mist have there in the defense.
It's just G-Spot and K coming in from against Rifles, not a great angle, especially with the man at car who's now pressuring him. Spaz is going to get in position as well. He's going to go up on the boost, and that's going to result in both of them going down to pretty good sprays coming through from the Spaz man. He picks himself up too as well, and WRG just holding W and hitting shots right now.
Yeah,
it's really difficult. What did Mist even do, man?
Well, first of all, I want to just address some people in chat who are saying we're super biased or we're being biased against Mist and why are we bashing Mist. Guys, please don't take it the wrong way. I'm not actually like trying to come here and just, talk crap about Mist. This is just what I'm doing is I'm actually painting like a realistic situation of this game right now. WRG is like one of the top 7 teams in South African Counter-Strike right now. They've worked really hard and they've got some of the best players in the country playing in this team. Mist are one of the developing and up-and-coming teams in South African CS. There's a big disparity here between these 2 teams. So the fact is that I'm just trying to get it, like everyone can understand what a big gap there is between these 2 teams. And then if Mist can somehow actually pull the upset off and win a map against WRG, then that would actually speak volumes to how crazy that achievement is for Mist. So that's sort of just, I just want to explain, like, so everybody actually understands why I'm, talking about it the way that I am. So yeah, it was an eco round. Just thought I could get my thoughts across. What do Mist have to do, Reese? You ask. I don't know. They have to start getting some kills though. That would be a pretty good start because WRG, they've already got like 25 kills between all 5 players. They're all firing on all cylinders already. They're gonna have to start matching them in the fragging department.
Yeah, I think you summed up that analysis quite well. I don't think it's we're not trying to present any bias, guys, really. It just is a case of David versus Goliath here, and Missed now with a buy though. They do have a double orb setup, so they've been known to do quite well, as we mentioned in their game versus Critical 5. They did show some really promising play, and
Yeah.
just with a couple tightening up and some better teamwork, they might be able to do some damage. And here comes a B push though, and it's going to be Chanchi out first, and QWERTY manages to get the trade. He takes out Custom, who's been a danger man so far, but WRG are going to get the bomb site here, and QWERTY can't really pressure. He's going to get mollied off the angle, and a whole bunch of util thrown down his throat. So now it's a 4v5 retake. At least there's only one AWP and 3 automatics, which is going to bode better for their retake. But it's a difficult position here, especially B. It's such a horrible bomb site to retake. One of the hardest in CSGO. So the flash of the neutral does come out, and they get the first, which is really good. The other man on platform and one underneath the window. They're not going to spot Spaz underneath the window, and he's going to get
them all.
They get it. They get
it. They've managed to make the retake happen amongst all the chaos. That was perfectly done by Mist. All of the players pushing in together, coming through the window and the doors at the same time, and just converging onto that bomb site, making it super chaotic for WRG to try and figure out where they should be taking their fights. Just pushing one after another, trading effectively as well. Very well done by Mist. That B bomb site, notoriously difficult to retake, but they get it done. First round on the board here, and they just prove to themselves that they can go toe-to-toe in the fragging department with WRG. They can do it when it matters the most. So now they're just going to have to string some more together. It's the first, but it's the first on the board, which is just going to be allowing them to breathe a sigh of relief and let themselves settle into the game now, I think. WRG also... a little bit ill-disciplined there from them, not taking the fights in the correct order, you know, just getting caught off guard there. A little bit of mismatch on the crossfire as well. So a few frags went unanswered, which should have been checked.
Yeah, and this could be their opportunity. Is there's a little bit of chaos in the WRG structure, seemingly when things aren't going, you know, to plan. They get caught up there. And now here comes a nice short push though, and a good flash is going to set them up to get 2 kills. Tuckbook picking up both. They do slow it down with a molly, do miss, but now they're in a 3-on-5, which spreads them really thin across the map. And there is still a little bit of util, only one flash, but a ton of mollies actually still for WRG to use here.
Yeah.
And only one molly on the side of Mist, but it is on their danger man, Windows 10, who's been known to send people back to the spawn screen.
Yeah, this is very nice though from WRG, the way that they're posturing themselves on the map right now. Even though they've got the first 2 entries, they don't just rush into the bomb site off the back of that. They still just continue to posture themselves and wait to catch any more aggression from Mist. They then assess the situation and they figure out what their best option is. They group up on shorts and they make their way onto the vacant A bomb site. Now, Mist don't have any choice but to try to save these weapons. However, I'm not even sure if that's going to be an accomplishable task. As you can see, WRG already spreading themselves out across the map. They've already got the feelers going out to try and find these CTs. QWERTY hanging around here. Now, there's only one player on the A bomb site, Reese, and 2 players have been taken down by K. If QWERTY takes down Tuckbook, there's nobody else on the A bomb site to deny the defuse. Oh, QWERTY can't find the kill. Tuckbook stays alive. My God, how quickly that could have turned into such a desperate situation. But all of the players for WG have been dropped here. K has somehow been able to get a quad kill. My God, WRG just offering themselves up on a silver platter, and they all get taken down by K. That's going to be inflicting a lot of economic damage. So Mist, they might be inclined to go for the buy here, and that's exactly what they're going to be doing. Correct decision.
Yeah, and that was a big misplay from WRG to just hold W at their enemies like that. They definitely seem to be underestimating them, and Mist could actually turn this towards their favor if they, like, well, as they have done in that last round. K, like you said, picking up a 4K Windows, taking out the last. So
oh, here comes aggression.
Here comes a mid push though. Are they going to get some kills here, or is G-Spot going to be the one to answer them? They come around the corner, they don't see G-Spot, and he gets the first. WRG just holding W, and Mist now acclimatizing to the pace. Do manage to pick up some kills over there and slow down this mid push. And
oh man,
G-Spot out in the corner, and they can't really push into him, to be honest. It's just actually going to result in more of their deaths, so they realize it and start to back off. So a good setup from them to stop that mid aggression. And WRG, I think they might actually be, this might actually become problematic for them if they keep underestimating the aim and setup of Mist. They could actually tumble here a little bit. So I think they need to return just to a bit more disciplined setups and watch out for those throwaways.
Yeah, you could see they just look to try and be really aggressive from the start of the round there to try and get on top of Mist. But as you say, Mist stood tall in the task of locking down the defense. Now, White Rabbit Gaming are going to be reassessing their options and making their way towards Long. Tweaks behind the blue bin is going to be actually able to find himself a second kill there. That's really well done by him. 1-for-1 trade would have been decent, but the fact that he finds a second kill is imperative. We're going to be seeing the wall of smokes coming through from WLG. They've spotted QWERTY out on the bomb side as they start to surge forward. Spaz, the first responder, he gets the shots off onto QWERTY, but QWERTY with a nutty flick shot will take him down. It's now just Tuckbook left in the 1v3, but surely he has no hope here. He gets taken down by K as well. Mist, able to get the job done in this all-important round. And look at the economy of WRG. They've got no money left in the bank. I mean, on a couple of players, they can get the buy-up, but 3 players are sub $3,100. So it's going to be a bit of a mismatch if they do go for the buy. And in fact, they're going to be saving. So this is a good opportunity now for Mist to string a couple rounds together, Reese, and get themselves a platform here on the CT side.
Yeah, no, good. They pull out a much better setup, and this is what I was hoping to see from Mist, was this really disciplined, really structured play, because this is honestly their best opportunity to just beat
QWERTY.
WRG. QWERTY gets one through the smoke. A nice off shot from him in mid. So that's what you want to do when you're starting an anti-eco, is get one for absolutely free, no damage coming out. And here comes a short push. And are they going to be in position for it? They are. And G-Spot just gets a 3-man spray down as they try to push into it. So I think WHG actually in a little bit of trouble at the moment. They like I say, I feel like they're underestimating Mist, and Mist is saying, hey guys, we also spend time shooting bots on DM servers, and it's starting to show as they go and get their third round, winning 3 of the last 4 after a 5 straight coming out from WRG. WRG definitely not out of this, but I think they need to shift gears and start playing more structured CS. And this could be the way to get it going, is with a nice change of pace onto B. There's 4 players towards mid and A.
Oh,
and
that's a bad smoke. That's a very bad smoke. Tweaks has just thrown. He's literally given them a passage straight into the B-bomb side. WRG, they've thanked him, and they're just going to be charging their way forward. Tweaks has to make up for it. He's only good for the 1 kill. K, the first responder, will be able to get a frag as well. That grenade, all right, it licks Spaz, but not going to be anything too detrimental. In fact, Mist, they want to force the issue here. The bomb hasn't even been planted, but they're already looking to retake the bomb side, and they've incurred a lot of damage as a result. And look at Spaz. He wants to get aggressive. Go to take 9. He pushes through the window. He's going to be able to find one, but he gets traded out, and I'm not sure that was actually the right decision, because he leaves his teammates in a precarious position regardless. 2 versus 2 here. Smoke comes off and blocks tunnels, but that's okay for WG because they don't have to be worried about it either. Now Chanchi gets quite a lot of damage done with the M4. He'll follow up with the frag on Mist, and he will take down Windows as well. Rather G-Spot, excuse me. I'm getting a little bit caught up in the action there, of course, but both G-Spot and Windows get taken down there by Chanchi on the B-bomb side. WRG, they lock it down in the eco, and that's an unfortunate turn of events for Mist.
Yeah, like you said, that Tweaks with that smoke was a bit of a misplay, and that's that experience coming through from WRG, identifying, hey guys, we can use this to our advantage. Massively aggressive push coming out here from Long.
Oh my god, Tuckbook, you're such a monster! You're such a monster! He can't finish the second kill though. And all in the meanwhile, QWERTY's also been able to take down Chanchi towards middle, so it's actually a 1-man advantage here for Mist. Something they've been able to do quite consistently in these gun rounds is find the opening kills on WRG. So again, they find themselves a man up.
WG just going to slow things down here for a moment, which is the better call. Make sure the CTs are nice and thinly spread, even the 4 of them, that there's a few less angles that they can be on. But if they push into QWERTY, you just misses the shot. And he's going to decide to rather play passive, which is a good call, and not give his life up and spread his team even thinner. And they're doing something creative here with custom on bomb in middle, and QWERTY's going to spot that out and probably do a bomb call there, and they throw one smoke, which normally is a mid to B setup, which might throw them off momentarily. And Tweaks is the only man actually on the A site with Windows supporting from CT, but he's the support you want in this environment. Now, Custom is on short, and he's going to have to basically
coming
take
in.
two guys from this angle, but like you say, the molly comes in and Spaz gets one for free. Now just Windows 10 towards the CT area.
Oh, destroyed.
And take him down as well, and that's much better from WRG. Now putting the pressure onto Mist and their setup. Now Spaz in a really good position. These two players are going to push into him from long. If he can even get one, that's going to be... He probably will.
Oh, beautiful.
Now it's just G-Spot left in a 1-on-2 with the AWP. Definitely time to J.
Yeah, doesn't really have many further options available to him. WRG with an impressive round there, working it with the 3 versus 4. They send Custom up short by himself with the bomb. They have 2 players come up long and they realize most of their real estate is towards long. That's where they have most of their stock. So Spaz takes first contact. He's able to get that opening kill, and that's what activates Custom coming up short as well. And he is able to assist that entry onto the A bomb site. And pretty much once they secure the plant, the round's already in their favor. But Spaz just seals it as he gets that first player coming through the long doors. I wanted to point out his crosshair placement there because he wasn't just holding immediately on the door. His crosshair was actually like a centimeter off the door. And I know that we might have a few players here who are still like learning and growing. So I wanted to explain that it's actually better to have your crosshair slightly off the angle that you're holding or slightly off the choke point that you're holding, because you're accounting for them actually coming through the door and then moving into your crosshair, and you don't have to make that like minute adjustment to then switch over onto their head. So just a small point of detail, but definitely something that makes a big difference to just allow you to be more consistent in hitting those shots when people walk through choke points.
Yeah, and if they swing wide, then you do have the angle covered for that swing, like Mr. Maddie has alluded. So I like this little setup on catcher from Mist. I love watching people walk around the corner because you could almost see the PogChamp happening to them as it happens. But WRG is not falling for this again. They're like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And they're going to util the CTs off of the angle. And they are looking towards long. Funny, they knew what we knew, right? That they've got the long pretty much open to themselves. And now Spaz pushed up on short. Does have 2 guys to contend with, very far apart. So the flick might be quite difficult. And Quoty's going to move closer in here and maybe look to push the angle. But Spaz is going to make a really good engagement. And Tweaks is going to get himself a kill and an AK. But he doesn't know that there's a bunch of T's pushed up on long. So he might get caught off now. He's realized that they have come through. And here comes Tianki to say, no, you're not going to be able to keep that AK, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
And they take that back. But in the interim, G-Spot on the other side of the map has got himself an AWP. Did he have it from the...
Yeah, that was the same AWP he saved from the previous round. Yeah, so that's going to be 9-3 now for WRG. Cruising back in the driver's seat here. They're still feeling very comfortable on their T side. They had a little bit of a stutter, but they've managed to just get their feet back on the ground here. And they're looking very comfortable. You can see they're just keeping things quite simple on this T side. I'm actually really appreciating their approach right now. Not doing anything too extravagant or too complex. Just playing the game as you should be right now. I mean, I would say that they're probably like losing a player, an opening pick a bit more than they should. You know, just getting caught off guard by Mist. But that's okay because they're still able to convert those 4 versus 4s anyway. So we'll see how that transitions now into the last couple of rounds of the half. Should be a full buy round on the table for Mist. They've got enough money across the board to purchase up weapons, and this is where it's sort of reaching do or die for them in the half. So we will see a timeout coming through. I like this decision. Just talk about exactly how they're going to be approaching things on the CT side. It's not like WRG have been super explosive in their approach. They've either been fully committing to long or they haven't really done much with long at all. So if Mist can just secure long control at the start of the round, post 1 player there like we saw Tweaks doing a couple rounds back, and then focus on short, I think they'll actually get they'll be okay on the defense here. We've seen WRG putting a lot of stock on that short hit most of the time coming through into the A-bomb side. So if they can get their AWP posted up on long from Mist's perspective and cover that angle, then they will have a better chance at locking down the defense. So there is the AWP purchase up by K. Glass Cannon. I like that decision. You need the AWP on the CT side of Dust 2. You desperately need the AWP to aid the defense. And we are going to be seeing them with 3 players making their way towards long.
Sorry, just to interject there, they did actually have an AWP at the end. Their G-Spot was on the Jame, but he got called
okay.
out after the round,
He
after the end of
did.
the round as well,
Man.
which was super, super harsh. They could have not had to buy that AWP, which would have been so much better for this round. Obviously, $4,750 is pretty much a full kit, so that would have been nice. But look at how much space they're giving up in mid. This could go really badly for them. WG realizing, hey, nobody's at home, guys. Where is everybody? And it's only K who's going to be watching the approach through that smoke there. And if they double smoke it, which I think is what they're trying to do right now, it could go really badly for them. Does he have an angle there?
This is sort of by design for Mist because they've got 2 players in the B bomb side, but it's going to be very tough for them to lock down the defense considering there's going to be 3 entry points that they have to try and contest. WRG making their way through tunnels and Chanshi's already opened things up. Window's job has become so difficult now on the bomb side. Somehow he's been able to stay alive for an elongated period. He actually nearly even was able to take down Ninjas, but it didn't last very long and the fairy tale is over. Custom trying to kill as well as Tuckball, and that pretty much solidifies the round. It's just G-Spot left battling it away at top mid, but all he can hope for right now is to save this rifle and take it into the next round. WRG just continuing with the simple approach on the T side right now, and I love to see it. They don't need to do anything complex. They know that they're better players right now, individually speaking, so they just need to play to those strengths and keep things simple. They don't have to try and come up with the most intense and crazy strats to get across the line in this game. And sometimes that can actually lead to a team overthinking a match when they're an overdog, and you know that gets to their head. They start overthinking situations and overcomplicating things. But that's not happening right now for WRG. And it's good to just see them performing the way they are right now.
I like that overdog analysis or metaphor. I'm going to steal that, Matt. I'm taking that one. Thanks, Matt. Overdog.
Oh, yeah. I've always thought that was a thing, to be honest with you. I was surprised when someone told me that's not an English, what do you, I don't even know what you call them, like a little saying, little phrase.
Oh, yeah, it's only on the other end of
I know. I'll give you another example that really irks me about English. So indigenous means that a plant is native to its environment. And indigenous is actually not a word. Now, of course, generally in English, in is the prefix, which means opposite to the word that it's placed in front of. Now, how on earth is indigenous not a word that means alien plant and indigenous a word that means local? It messes with my brain, and that's just English for you. Back onto the CS.
Tuckball gets a quick pick, takes 6 HP for his troubles, and sets him up for a 4v5, which is ideal. Like you said, their setup has been more structured and simplistic, which is good. And honestly, they won that last round basically just on info. The fact that they knew that nobody was at home, that they could smoke off CT and prevent rotates in from that area quite easily, boded or was a good setup from them. So, and it's just looks like it's going to be more of the same. But to counter that, the CTs are playing like a nice little pincer maneuver here, actually, and it could catch some T's in the crossfire, which is definitely their hope with this sort of setup. They're not looking to win the round so much as do damage, just based on their positioning over here, but they could end up doing just that with the bomb moving in from long, and they're only a rifle in the hands of K over here. If he gets himself the bomb down and can get his cohort their QWERTY a rifle, this could suddenly spiral out of control in a 4v4. So the push does come in through long, and they're going to be checking corners. The spaz check here, no he doesn't, and it's going to be 1, it's going to be 2 for K. He doesn't quite manage to pick up the third, and QWERTY misses his shot, which isn't going to bode well for him, but then he hits a sick one on Ninjas, so he gets that as well. Now it's just a 2v2. That just went really pear-shaped for WRG. They didn't check their corners properly and Mist punishes them for doing so. Windows 10 with the dig. He's just so sick with it. It's going to be a 1-1. He hit a second one. Tuckball. It's ripped a new set of dentures. He's going to go be picking up his teeth after the match over the ground there. Why did he even jump up like that? He completely underestimated them, and you don't do that to Windows 10, bruh.
Dropped ball there by WRG, just underestimating the firepower that Mist possessed in that round. Some very nice deagle shots coming through from them, and they bailed themselves out of a very awkward situation. They get a round as a result, and they could make it 5 here on the CT side, which I think they'd be feeling pretty good about if they could secure going into the second half, all things considered.
10-5 is not bad. It's definitely playable from there. Like I said, was my preferred setup for Mist, is to put themselves in a chase position, because they can do those sort of plays a little bit easier on the defense than they can on the T side, and it gives them so much info to play with going into the next round. And Tuckbook's going to take a wide swing over here, and G-Spot's going to get himself a 2K. Yeah. That's not what you want.
Very nice setup there from Mist on short. They had the players in position, the crossfire set up, and then the players got the job done as well. Windows taking first contact, and then G-Spot capitalizing with the 2-piece, and then they completed with exactly the right thing they're supposed to do. They get back on the bomb site. You notice, guys, they don't just continue to push forward into middle after they find a double kill. They realize they've done everything they've needed to. They've got the advantage in the round for their team. Now they have to push that advantage home. If they charge through middle and they both die, then all that hard work has been undone. Now they still have this massive 3-man advantage in the round, and there should be no way that Mist can lose this. Ninjas and Spaz. Taskman's trying to somehow find a miracle in the round, but Windows has already got the angle on Ninjas, who's being brought down very low here. I mean, Spaz is able to get one, but the trade's on, and now all the information is there for Mist as well. They know exactly where the last player is, so it should just be a matter of time. Mist looking decent in this half, all things considered. I mean, they've definitely been able to give themselves a fighting chance at the bare minimum.
And Spaz just looking away, or Ninjask at least, just at the wrong time. And there's a man towards Goose. He is very low. He's probably not worried too much about an AWP shot, and he's just going to bide his time and take Ninjask down, which is going to be a 10-5, which, like you said, isn't the worst position for Mist to play from. Nice 2 in a row from them to maybe get a little momentum happening in their engine. We'll have to see how their T-side pistol goes, but right now, Spaz the MVP on the server with a 17-11.
Yeah.
180 R for him. Which
no
is
MVPs, by the way.
No MVPs, no Sheriff's Badge for him.
Like 17 and 11, 4 kills, I see there's a 13, and he doesn't have 1 MVP. You got Custom, who has 8 kills, he has 4, and Ninjas with 5 kills has 3. The game is broken, it doesn't matter. We're into the next pistol round. Mist on the T side here, looking to get early aggression towards long, but it's a fake, as majority of the players are pushing up short very quickly here, but Spaz is on the angle. He's been doing a lot of damage throughout the entirety of this map so far, and he's in position to do some more damage here. Again, USP in hand. This is a lethal position to play from, and Mist, unfortunately, they realized they weren't able to continue pushing onto the A site. They've got some util, which they're going to be setting up now and grouping up on short as they start making their way forward. Spaz on the angle, not able to initially connect. In fact, Quote's going to be able to take down Chanchi, and that's going to be sending Spaz reeling all the way back to long. He retreats. First objective achieved here for Mist. Take control of the bomb site, secure the plant. They got a man advantage as well. This pistol round is theirs for the taking right now. WG with 2 players up long, going to be making their way forward. Tuckbook opened things up, but he still doesn't really have much support from his teammates just yet as they start to make their way forward. Nice shot from Tweets. Time ticking here. There is a kit on Spaz, but damage being done by the T players. Only 1 left now for the CTs at Spaz. Tapping away, but surely this just is a reach too far. Making his way forward, frantically looking for the frags, but Mist playing it to perfection, not giving him anything, not giving him any chance to fight, not giving him any chance to find the frags, exactly as they should have done. Great pistol round.
And now we're starting to see the power of Mist. The Windows, Tweaks, and K trio are starting to come online. They're getting in really good damage. I mean, their entries, the way they played that at the end there, playing the objective, not over peaking, it was absolutely perfect. And Windows 10 is actually the second best player on the server right now statistically. So if they can just carry this momentum through for a couple of rounds, they could actually be challenging for the map. WRG, this is not quite what we expected. We expected them to be a little bit heavier on the aim, and they just missed shots as guys are coming out onto short. And now Spaz is getting pressured back into CT, and the whole team is going to be pushing up on him with automatics, and the sort of position you want to be in when you've got just a USP. They do the jump, they get the smoke wall set up, and they've left a player long, which is really good, even though it is K with just a crack 10 and a and a scout. I mean, it's going to work out, and he's going to be able to pick up the lurking role. There's going to be a nade kill on Ninjask, which is great for them. Like, this is all clean as well. Absolutely no damage being taken by Mist so far. Tweaks the first victim there, going down to custom.
Yeah, I mean, this was a full force from WRG as well. They invested pretty much everything they've got. Besides for Spaz, custom with the Desert Eagle, it is a thing of beauty. Majestical shot onto G-Spot, and you can see Quirty, he's nervous, he's shaking in his boots, he needs to get across, he wants to survive the bomb explosion, and he's only just going to be able to custom. Unfortunately, can't connect on the lethal shots, but a bit of economic damage dealt here by WRG between Custom and Tuckbook. They find 3 frags between the two of them, but that's not the talking point of the round. Missed getting the job done against the 4 spy, and as you said, it was like clean for 90% of it as well. It was clean for the part that mattered the most. They get on the bomb site, they secure the plant and the post plant for the most part. That looked really good from Mist. Now they've got one of the easiest rounds they would have had to contest for this entire map. Hard eco from WRG. Should be no way they can do anything in this round.
And I like this approach as well. Don't overplay the hand, get too aggressive into places that don't suit us. You know, let's take this short control, play it, check out tons that we're not being pushed. Leave one in long to make sure that we're not being pushed from that side. Like, this is the thing about Mist, is their setups are actually really well polished. And it's just, this is just more evidence to that end. And WRG, like, they just in a weird like limbo, it seems, on their aim. They're just not connecting like the shots that we are used to seeing them hit. And Mist is like, if you like, they are hitting the shots that we have seen from them, especially Windows 10. Like, this guy has got a very bright future, I think, in CSGO South Africa. He hasn't actually had a bad map that we've seen so far.
Yeah, definitely one of the outstanding players on this Mist team. Mist being very cautious in their approach right now. They know that they're against the eco, so they just want to make sure they don't give anything away. 4 players grouped up on shores. It's going to be nice and simple as they make their way on towards the safe site. Everybody pushing forward together, making sure that they're spacing and trading effectively. And that should just be enough in itself to get them across the line in this round. Next round is going to be where it matters the most. Once WRG have got some superior weapons in their hands, they should have the AWP in the next round, courtesy of Spaz. They're going to have the M4s, they're going to have the armor, everything they could hope for. So that's going to be the first big test. Like, let's see if Mist can win the first gun round here, because that would really spice things up in this game. If Mist pick up the first gun round, it's going to be 10-9. Eco from WRG 10-10, and all of a sudden Mist are going to be looking like they're feeling really good about it. So big round coming up here into the next gun round.
Yeah, and it's very nice for Mist to go through with 4 players alive. So even if it doesn't go the best for them, they'll be able to probably buy on the next one,
will,
more than likely. So like, that's really good for them, and so they get a repeat on this. Whereas WRG is sitting in a position where it's do or die. They're going, like you say, they're going to have to save. So yeah, very, very big round here for this map at least. And WRG are going to opt to push right up in here for long control, which I think is a good idea. They hear the guys running away, and Spaz is going to push through the smoke. He's going to 2K it and get a huge amount of info, which is going to help them into this round. While Mist are opting rather to go for the B push, and WRG has realized this, and they're starting to rotate in. Mist, you could be walking into a big trap over here. Custom gets a nice nade kill, but not before Quirty takes out his cohort Tuckbook, and he's going to be left at car there with a couple of guys at door, and now it's a 3v2. Mist does have util. Now they're going to start running it out, but Chancey's just going to charge right in, and he's going to put his stamp on this round and say, no, boys, we're not going to let you plant. We're not going to play retake. We're going to take it before the time, and they're going to pick it up, and that's a really critical round for them.
That was a very nice idea from Mist. I really like that. Just looking to try and show some presence towards long, and then setting up with the pop out onto the B bomb site. I just think they took slightly too long to commit to the B bomb site. So WRG, courtesy of Spaz, were getting so much quality information after he pushed through that smoke. Came out on the other side of the long doors, and he saw there was nothing top mid, nothing T-spawn, nothing mid from the side of the T's. So WRG were able to rotate quickly, and there was that 5 or 6 second period where Mist were just caught in limbo. They were waiting in the tunnels before they committed to the execute, and that's what allowed WRG to get so far forward, and they were in position while Mist were trying to cross into the site. So if Mist had just gone slightly earlier there, that round might have played out differently, but now they're going to have to eco 8-11. WRG, they find their first round in the second half, and they're going to be probably breathing a bit of a sigh of relief as well. They won't be feeling too worried. I know them. They'll be feeling okay. They know that they're still ahead. won't be too concerned just yet.
Yeah, I think another thing that Mist could have done was just leave someone trailing behind, like a trailing arm, just for that spaz push, because if they get that kill there and then sort of re-spread out into defaults, it actually just favors them a lot, just getting that info. Spaz with the presence of mind to push the smoke gets good info for his team. The Mist are trying to set up towards mid, but they've been countered here really, really hard by WRG. But there's a push that comes out and QWERTY hits the shot, but then Tuckle puts a new two-man play down. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Locking down the defense on the B bomb side for a second there when Mist got that entry towards short. Seemed like maybe they could see if they could make something happen. Tweaks with another sexy Desert Eagle headshot coming through.
Sorry, man. You just made me... I didn't expect it. It just came out of nowhere.
Moment. You need a moment, Reese, to recompose yourself.
These guys are missed, man, in their digs, dude.
Yeah, they're pretty cracked, bro.
It just hits me right in the CS soul, right in the heart, man. I'm just sort of like the satisfaction is high. Let's put it that way.
You felt that more than Ninjask felt that, and he felt that a lot. So 8 to 12 here, Mist. Oh, Tweak's nearly gonna find a second. He does. So that's actually a pretty decent result, all things considered. It was an eco round for Mist, and they found 3 frags.
Good damage.
They inflict surmountable economic damage onto WRG, and they're going to have to rebuy 3 rifles here. So this is a nice situation for Mist to try and capitalize on. If they can win this gun round, they break the back of WRG's economy, and they can sort of get a lot closer from there. Big opportunity here for Mist. Let's see if they can get across the line.
They're going to go for the long push, and there are going to be 3 CTs waiting for them over here. Ninja throws a good flash, and he picks up the first kill. Now he's going to have Utah running in towards... Man, it's got nowhere to go. It's windows. And he's going to get taken down, so it's a quick 3K. And that's going to probably be the round, unless Mist can pull off some crazy shenanigans. K does have an AWP, though. And the scope can do some mean damage. They just need to get 2 scalps, and they'll be right back in it. So now it's WRG's round to throw.
Yeah. Making their way up short, walking fast, paces home, and they're homebound.
I heard it as you were saying it.
I had to go spaz on Goose. Should have a fairly easy job. No, he gets checked by QWERTY, so that entry is going to be securing a bomb plant at the bare minimum, but how on earth do Mist find anything further from this position? Okay, he lands a shot before he gets taken down, leaving QWERTY in the clutch, but unfortunately not landing the quick shots he needed to make it interesting. So WRG, they find their 13th. Now I just want to talk about that long take from the CTs. Now you don't, when you're fighting long from the CT's perspective, you don't want to just run there with 3 people and all take fights. You actually have to have a bit of structure between the 3 of you. You have to understand when to take the fights. You need to make sure you're taking the fights together, and you're taking the fights off the back of your utility usage. You saw how they waited for Mist to come out, and then they started throwing their mollies, mollying off the doors to make sure no more support can come through, mollying off behind the blue bin to molly the player out who had gotten through. And effectively, they didn't even have to take any head-on-head fights, because they were just letting all the util do their hard work.
Much slower round. Good short control from Mist on this. Mostly safe. Tech9 rush by sort of setup, and the CTs have a nice bucket here to catch them, but let's see if there are any leaks in their defense. And they are going to go for the mid to B play with 2 men coming through from short. This is a nice jump down to clear CT, but Spaz plays a sneaky one. He does get 1. Tuckle gets a second. And they're not going to be able to get onto the B bomb side. The bomb is going to get taken down there. Custom playing sneaky from the car angle. The change in direction and a door working against Mist.
Yeah, Mist need to discredit this B bomb side entirely. Like they literally need to just wipe it off the minimap altogether. It's Custom and Tuckbork who are the 2 players locking down this B bomb site right now. That is the 2 best players on this WRG team, and they've gone here a number of times, have missed. Now, I don't know if they're just trying to show that they have bigger balls than WRG or if they're just not thinking about it very much. But I certainly would be advising them to reconsider that and try and put some more emphasis on the safe bomb side. Maybe we can see some late long takes from them after WRG just post one player, overwhelm that player, take long control back, double back, take short, or even just commit to the long take from there onto the A bomb site. But I just would like to see them maybe just erring away from that B side a bit more. However, WRG, they're going to make the read now, I bet. They're probably only sending one player on the B bomb side because they know Mist aren't going to be trying to go to B again. So now they're going to be pushing into the players over on A anyway. So tough draw here for Mist.
Yeah, I think the short control has been working well for them. They've been playing into it quite well, and it does give them some options from there. Like you say, this B bomb side is a bit of a nightmare
Under lock and chain.
With Custom and Tugbook there and how they play together. So, yeah, I have to agree with you. One thing I will say from WG, especially what we saw at the end of that round, was less of foolishness, less of them just overextending and putting themselves in bad positions. Spaz eats a nade, though, as I say that. He does catch it right in his Nautis Getortis. So he takes 45 damage for his troubles, and he's going to throw an early molly, which doesn't work out. The Smoke does decide to put that out. And Tweaks is like, hey, if you can throw mollies, we can throw them right back. So he's going to get pushed out of position. And no scalps just yet. Good damage on Spaz. And CT's running a bit light on Util, though, actually. And Spaz is going to take a peek. And Windows is going to say, no, my AK is better than yours. And he's going to get the first pick. And Chunchi does a good push through the smoke. They weren't ready for it, so one does go down. G-Spot nearly goes down. He goes down now, but it's a 2-on-3, actually favoring Mist. Out of the chaos comes a nice position for them. And now it's just Custom and Tuckbork left, the two B players. So even though they did actually have the read, it doesn't matter because Mist just has the better aim and they've managed to secure the bomb site.
Yeah, bomb plant comes through here for Mist. It's going to have to be a retake. Custom and Tuckbork, as you said, the two players to try and get this round for WRG as they edge their way forward. They got a smoke in an HE. Oh, Tweaks, he's creeping, and he's going to be catching off Custom, and he takes Tuckbork down as well. Single-handedly says, don't worry, boys, I got this one. I'm going to be finding the kills necessary. And Mist, they keep themselves alive here on Dust 2. They bring an end to that 4-round consecutive win streak for WRG, and they keep themselves alive, Reese. That's the really important thing. By winning that round, they keep themselves in the equation. It's going to be a save round for WRG as well, so this is a good opportunity for Mist to make double digits, and that's sort of an achievement in itself.
Yeah, and that's on the after of a 4-round like back-to-back wins for WRG, and now they broke as a Jake. Like that's really good going from Mist to keep the damage up and now put themselves in this position where the loss bonus comes to aid them. They're going to play it nice and slow, which is preferable. You don't want to rush around the corner into 4 Deegs and 5 7s. Those have been known to do some significant damage. And now here comes a short push, but they are set up for it. Custom does manage to get a kill, and there is going to be a second one coming out from Custom, so he does good damage, but it's a 3 for 2. Ninjash does a little peekaboo, and he hits another Deeg shot. Oh my word, that's just filthy.
Oh, not like this, Mist. Not like this. Oh, God, you hate to see it. It's just K left in the 1 versus 2. He spotted our Tuckbork. He's brought him down very low, but it's timing for Ninjas. He'll come around the corner, completes himself the 3-piece. Oh, man, that's unfortunate. I just feel like Mist are not having enough confidence in themselves in those anti-eco rounds. They're playing a very passive default, and it sort of plays into the hands of the Pistols because you give them time to survive. The round starts going deeper, and you, because your default, you're spread out across the map a lot more, which means you don't really have as much potential to trade. So if the Pistols get 2 quick kills, you can't really answer back. I would have liked to have seen maybe a bit more of a direct approach there than just spreading themselves across the map like that. Now it is literally do or die on Dust 2. 15-9 WRG find themselves on map point on Mist's map pick. Nonetheless, all 5 of the Mist players making their way towards long. They've only got 1 smoke for the cross, though. 2 mollies, 2 HE grenades, no flashes. This is going to be a tough ask. There's already 4 players on this A side for WRG as well. Courtesy of Spaz, he's pushed through into the lower tunnels. He's got all the information in the world right now as to what's going on. So Mist, they've been found out. They're being read. This is going to be so tough for them to get onto the bomb site. Trying to edge their way forward. They're playing contact. They don't want to give any clues away until they're going to be bursting onto the site. Chanchi ready and waiting with util of his own. And we do see the smoke come through. Big gap as they don't have that second smoke. Able to get across, though, without incurring too much damage. However, that's only the first objective. There's WRG players' numbers around the bomb site in plenty, but Windows 10 does a great job by picking up 2 quick kills. That's going to be buying some space and real estate for his teammates as K finds a frag as well. Custom in no man's land right now. Surely he's going to get taken down. And it's just Spaz left in 1v3. Somehow Mist have actually been able to brawl their way onto the bomb site and fight their way through this round. Wow, that is impressive, I must say. I did not expect that to happen.
Yeah, that's the thing, is you can't underestimate the missed aim. Like, it is there. While their teamwork is definitely their parting piece, you know, Windows 10, as we said right from the beginning, Tweaks, Windows 10, and K, those three are not to be underestimated, and especially Windows. Like, dude is really, really good, really, really solid. Tweaks backing him up. Like, this was the perfect storm for Mist in a lot of ways that they needed, and they're flexing nicely here. Their prowess, at least. Like, there's going to be a push coming through here short, and Chanchi is going to get taken down. Queti put down on 12 HP, so not ideal for him, and quite a lot of info actually for WRG as to what they are doing. So they're going to now group up, it seems, in the CT area and look to push him behind them on short, which could actually work out really, really well. Mist will probably get a bomb plant here for free. So they have got the site control and the info they're on. But WRG do have deagles, which has been enough for them in previous rounds. If Custom and Ninjas can channel their earlier setups, this should go well. There is a good flash in from them, and Tuckball can Custom get 2 kills.
No,
and Spaz gets another one. Oh my word, now it's just K and Windows. Windows is the man that you want here in this position with K. These are the 2 best players on their team. Arguably.
Oh my god.
No, he just destroyed them. And that's a highlight clip.
Reese, we have to ask ourselves, where would Mist have been in this game if they didn't lose those 2 anti-eco rounds in this half alone? Rounds which they should have won. Those 2 rounds could have turned the tide of this game. It would have put even more pressure on WRG, would have forced them to change their game up and try and, have to try a lot harder to get across the line. Force them to sweat a little bit. But unfortunately, WRG just show their prowess with the Desert Eagles. I mean, they Mist had everything going for them in that round. They were on the bomb site. They had full control, but still that wasn't enough.
Yeah, no, like I said, the deagles on WRG are just really, really strong. And Tuckbook at the end there got a 3K with one of them being from the traded AK-47, and literally as Windows went to peek out of pit, his head gets ripped off. So
yeah,
ow, just a bit of an owl one, and it's got to be a little bit of a mental punch to Mist. I hope it doesn't affect them as we go into Nuke, and this will probably be this definitely favors WRG. It's been a staple of theirs for quite a long time. Absolutely. So yeah, look, I think we're going to take a bit of a break here, but Maddie, when we come back,
okay,
it's giveaway time, man.
So when we come back, we're not going to be, we don't want to get the keyword going just yet.
Let's get the keyword going now. Let's actually get it.
All right, guys, so we're going to be opening up the giveaway for the Clutch mouse pad, which is an 800mm by 400mm mouse pad, courtesy of Esports. We will be giving away right here on the stream. You have to type EGL One in chat. EGL One in chat. Type out the word one, O-N-E, and that will be your entry into the giveaway, as well as subscribing to the channel. If you subscribe to the channel right now, you get a second entry going into the giveaway as well. Simple as that. And we're going to be drawing the winner probably sometime throughout the second map. We'll be announcing the winners soon in that second map, though. So get your entries in. We'll be back with the second map in a couple of minutes. We're going to be taking a short break now. When we return, we will have Nuke. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the match between Mist Esports and WRG. We just came off the back of Dust 2 where we saw WRG winning fairly comfortably 16-10. It wasn't all cool sailing throughout, though. Mist definitely made them work for that win. In fact, Mist should have done more than what they did. There were opportunities where they could have won some eco rounds and then, put a bit more pressure on WRG. So a few unanswered questions there. But the problem for Mist is that's all behind now on Dust 2 as we move into Nuke. WRG's map pick. It's been a staple of theirs for a number of months now, and just outright looked like their best map. So this is going to be tough for Mist coming into Nuke, but I'm still keen to see what they can make happen.
Yeah, good first map. It looks like Casper's joining WRG, which might help Mist out. Maybe. I don't actually know what Casper is like.
No, I think that might make a bit of a difference, Reese. You're onto something.
It could, eh? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, maybe he's got below solved hacks. You never know. These are the man's servers, so you could probably do some clever shenanigans. It would be kind of cool to see him sort of floating above, maybe. Yeah, as we look back into this, though, like you said, Mist actually made it a lot closer than it should have been, based off of our initial projections and with all the experience and stuff that are on White Rabbit Gaming. But as you've said, there's a complete mix-up, and Ninjask hasn't been connected with him, and now he's doing the IGL. It's not like he went from coaching to IGL within a team he was already working with.
Yes.
So he's sort of got to learn things to some extent, and as we also assumed, the combination of custom and tuckbook can be self-sustaining, but then he's still got to manage himself and two other players. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting Nuke, I think, and well, it might not be. If WRG starts on CT, this could go very one-sided from the get-go.
Well, Mist should be starting on the CT side because, of course, we've got the setup now that you get to pick sides on your opponent's map pick. So because this is WRG's map pick, Team Mist will have the choice of sides. And I would be very surprised if they ended up choosing anything that wasn't the CT side. So yeah, I'm sure they're going to have that luxury going into this, but that's only a small luxury because WRG just as efficient on the T side. They also have a very basic approach on their T side. In fact, that was under Zio. I'm not sure how much has changed now. Of course, they've got two different players in the team from them with Ninjask and Tuckbook is the second player who's come into the team. Basically, I'm not sure how different their style, or not Tuckbook, of course, Tianki rather. I'm just mincing my words here. But
too many T's.
I think they're still going to be having a very solid T side here going into Nuke. I expect them to be very efficient on both the CT and the T side. And this is, as I said already, going to be a tough map for Mist to try and be competitive on, because they can't just rely on their aim, right? They can't rely solely on taking fights and winning fights to allow them to be successful in their rounds. They have to engineer their structure. Their communication has to be on point, in particular on the CT side. It's probably the most communication intensive map in the entirety of CSGO on the CT side of map. It's really important that everybody stays on the same page and everybody knows exactly what's going on across the board. It's very easy to lose track of T players on this map as the CTs. You know, if there's the wall of smokes outside, if they drop the smoke in front of the squeaky door and they drop down the vent in towards lower, in towards B, if they get ramp control, it's very easy to lose track of a T player on this map, and it can be so costly as the CTs. So that's why I stress communication when you're playing the CT side of this map.
For sure, and it looks like the game is going to kick off in the next few seconds, and it is going to be Mist over on the CT side. Very wise for them to go for the defense first. We'll have to see what WRG's approach is, but just coming out of that last map, it also feels sort of like WRG had a bit of a warm-up period, and they were just acclimatizing to each other somewhat. This is their first official together, if I'm not mistaken, Matt. So
the WRG team?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not entirely sure, but I'll take your word for it.
As a 5-man.
Yeah, with Ninjask.
Yeah, as a 5, I think it's definitely their first time doing an official together, and we could see them just starting to settle in a little bit. But inversely, on the other side, if Mist does a couple more things right and just like you say, has a bit more confidence in themselves, especially on the anti-ecos, they could actually turn this into a closer game. So we'll have to see what happens as we start the map.
There we go. Into the pistol round we go here on Nuke, the second map of the series. Guys, make sure you stick away to find out who the winner of the giveaway is. We'll be announcing that throughout this map somewhere. And please make sure you're around, because if we announce you as the winner and you don't respond, we then unfortunately have to give your prize away to somebody else, and no one wants to do that. Don't put us in that position. WRG in the position to burst onto the say bomb site. They've got 4 players outside the squeaky door, and they receive a parcel, a package. The package explodes in their faces, and they take a lot of damage as a result. So quite a lot of blood has been spilled here. Alas, everybody is still alive. And WRG, they're going to be charging through the smoke onto the say bomb site. Custom finds the first kill, frantically looking around for the second. It's going to be Tuckpok who takes down the player on the rafters. And it's almost a seamless entry into the bomb site for WRG. They find all 3 kills that go untraded. And there's only 2 players left here for Mist to try and find their way back into this round. But I don't know how they can get anything done.
Unless we see some disgusting shots coming out from Mr. Windows and Queti. Queti's got like a really tough task in this foyer area. To be able to take these 2 out is going to be really difficult, and I just don't see him doing it when he's about it, especially when he's going to get double peeked over here as well. I said foyer, I meant lobby. It's the same thing, but a different flavor. Regardless, the round goes to WRG. A flawless pistol round from them. Nobody going down, so they take all 5 players through, which is really nice for them. But it's going to be more deco forcing shenanigans over in the Mist camp. So let's see if they can pull off some miracle digs, highlights of their own.
I'm keen to see what they're going to be doing with this force buy. If they, try some sort of a stack, or if they're just going to be going for the default hold. Seems like they just got like emphasis on inside right now. 3 players towards the A sites and then 2 players towards ramp. Not having anybody posted outside, just having G spots spotting and getting some information. And WRG, they're not giving anything away right now. Also just being passive, taking their time and finding control. You can see the way they're working outside right now. They know that they have the superior weapons, so they want to make sure they take map control before they make any commitments. And they're just crossing all their T's and dotting all their I's right now. K slowly making his way through Secret. Might be catching somebody off guard as Ninja starts going on a bit of an explorative mission outside, getting some vital information. But as I said, K, he's creeping his way up, and he's just going to be holding at the bottom of the stairs. So not continuing to aggress, but Tweaks, he's aggressed through the hut, and he's been able to find Chansey. So that's an opener now, and the Mac 10 that's been retrieved. First blood, drawn by Mist. And it is a force buy, as I said. So they've got the armor, they've got some upgraded pistols yet to do the damage. Another kill coming through that gets traded once again, but Mist still at least doing a job to find these frags. G-Spot with the Desert Eagle will find one as well. And the pattern just continues here. Mist consistently finding the first kill. It is traded by WRG, but Mist, they're pushing this round deep. But this is awkward. This is so awkward. The molly, kind of, I'm not sure if that was intended for the vent or the squeaky door, but it kind of achieves its purpose regardless. Both of the Mist players are going to be coming up the vent right now. And it doesn't seem like WRG are immediately aware of this possibility. Spaz certainly would have spotted the first. And now with that information, they can focus their attention towards the entry point of the bomb site. Spaz, oh, he gets absolutely destroyed. Ninja's by himself now in the 1v2. Probably given his position away with the flashbang, it doesn't seem like Mist are entirely aware. The diffuser's being stuck. The diffuser's being stuck. Ninja's not swinging out, not realizing he spotted him. Oh my god, the 10-second diffuse. There just nearly was enough time for him to have stuck it. My goodness gracious me. He was probably licking his lips. He thought he was on the home stretch. He was on the home stretch. You could see the finish line. And then his hopes got destroyed. He woke up from the dream, Reese.
And Tweaks, that spinning shot onto the man on site. Ow. Spaz thought. He thought that he had it. And Tweaks was just like, nah, bruh. But Ninjask, honestly, I think he knew, dude. I don't think that was... I think that was by design. He knew the time... he knew that they didn't have... any kits, so he played it to 7-8 seconds of the time and then went for the peak, which ultimately won them around. So I'm hoping that was by design, at least. Wow. Otherwise,
you're gonna give him that one.
I'm gonna give him that one. It looked like it was by design because he had the info.
I don't have as much faith, to be honest with you, but I appreciate that you're gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. One of us has to. We'll play good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Got to be counter-opposed somewhat. Custom gets
Yeah.
a nice shot onto the danger man from last round on Tweaks, and he gets a second one onto K, and that means there's only going to be one man here on the bomb side, which, well, not even, he's towards Heaven, and now it's just QWERTY under Heaven. He's going to get challenged by Tuckbook, and that's a clean round from WG. They're second. It seems like they only do it completely clean or completely dead, Matt.
Yeah. It's one of two right now as we head into the next gun round. It's a full bonus round here for WRG. They got 2 Mac 10s and the Galil, and they've got more than enough money to purchase up in the next round, regardless of what transpires here. So they've got a bit of freedom to play with this round. Mist, on the contrary, they don't have much freedom around. They need to get across the line in this round. Considering they're going up against the Mac 10s and the Galil, they can't afford to drop the ball in this round. Otherwise, how are they going to be doing the job when there's AKs on the table for WRG? And WRG, well, they're just charging their way forward onto the speed bomb side right now. Not slowing down, not with the care in the world. It's only QWERTY who's sitting pretty right now, hiding in dark corner. Doesn't seem like he's been found out just yet either. He's going to be activating now as he takes down Tuckbook. But how does he avoid the trade now? He's waiting desperately for the support to come through from his teammates from ramp. And they are coming through, but are they going to be coming through in time is the question. Spaz takes down one. And QWERTY just can't get anything done because WRG are just taking down his teammates piece by piece. They remove the support structure, and then they take down the player who was hoping for the support.
And now it's just up to Tweaks and G-Spot who are going to try and do this retake. I'd like to see them actually jam it out here, to be very honest. They just don't have anything for the next round if they die here. And now that there's just G-Spot left in 11 HP, run, Forrest, run! But he's going to have to go for the shot, and it's not going to work out. And it's working out now in WRG's favor. Like you said, that was a free round. They managed to score themselves 2 AKs and M4, which they carry through into this round now. And now Mist with no money, really, they are going to have to do at least a save for this round into the next one. They do have some loss bonus, which is going to help them out, and $2,800 on the G-Spot does mean he will probably be able to do a glass cannon AWP buy if necessary. AWP is really only needed for the outside area on this map. So with the smoke wall that WG set up last round, they're probably going to want it, all things considered, to stop guys boosting onto silo and getting that area for free. But WRG, with a much slower outside setup, they're going to go with it again, just on a delayed smoke setup now. I really like that smoke wall that they set up. It was perfect on the last one. So they're going to keep the plays coming, and they're going to show presence towards mouth simultaneously. Mist doesn't take the bait. They aren't going to run out of anything. They're just going to stick patiently with these guns and hope that WRG walks into the crosshair.
Yeah, WRG just being very passive right now in their approach, using the full length of the round, taking full control of outside, making sure that they're covering the choke points inside, that Mist can't be wrapping around and getting any free information. But now WRG also spreading themselves out across the map as well. There are 3 players all grouped up, and it seems like they're going to be making their way towards Heaven. Chanchi finds one onto G-Spot. That should be securing an avenue of entry for the bomb sites onto the site. But there are still a couple pistol players here for Mist, and the first one, Tweaks, is able to get a kill. There's also a player in Hutch here. Does he get found out? Chachi leading the entry, leading the charge, and he does clear K out, but K clears out his train with a bullet. And he will get traded, but still a nice shot. Plant going to be coming through. Unfortunately, Mist. They can't deny the plant. QWERTY is in close proximity, comes around the corner, spots out a number of players, but unfortunately not going to be able to land shots on any of them. WRG go up 5-0, and Reese, this next gun round is imperative for Mist, because if they can't win this gun round, I fear that the half might start to run away from them.
100%, and Windows, their number 1 player, is just struggling to activate at the moment. He's only got 23 ADR to his name. Absolutely nothing else to talk about on his scoreboard. He really needs to step up to the plate here. Tweaks has been the man doing pretty much all their damage at this point in time, so it's a bit of a one-man show, and this is still, I would say, quite CT-sided, all things considered. And here comes WG with a smoke wall once again. Just take the outside and the secret entrance for free. K is in position here with an AWP, and QWERTY actually with an AWP on ramp might be a good tool here
But
to
he's
the WRG demise.
yeah.
But
He's the only player on this side of the map right now for Mist, though. He's the only player who's got any information or control towards this B-bomb site, and he's been forced out of the site now by the util as well. So WRG, just courtesy of holding W on that smoke wall, they've taken full control of the B-bomb site, and this is going to be turned into a retake situation as the bomb starts to get planted. Chanchi even finds tweaks. He's been enforced in that lurk role that we were discussing earlier. Chanchi getting the job done, and Mist just getting picked apart right now, piece by piece. Chanchi eventually going to get taken down, but that's just a frag that has little relevance in the round right now for Mist. Not really changing the complexion at all. They're going to have to save their weapons here. So this is clearly being a bit of a chink in the armor, right, for Mist. We've seen how WRG, they just throw that wall of smokes and they just charge down secret in towards the B-bomb side. Mist not having any response. They've got no info whether people are committing to the smoke wall push or not, and they've got no control to try and slow them down. Nobody dropping in the fence and using util. Nobody spotting from single door, just got the smoke in the hand, jump spotting. As soon as you see the players come through, you use your util. They're just giving WRG way too much control for free here, and they need to start being more proactive in their defense.
Definitely, and that's the third round now that they've done the smoke wall setup. So, like, they really need to respond to the way WRG is moving around the map. But also on WRG's side, though, they're doing what works, and they're just not changing the formula. They're not overextending. They're giving Mist the respect in their fragging power that they deserve, and it's actually going much better for them at the moment. And here comes a third or fourth time that WRG are going to get into secret for free, and Spaz just getting huge amounts of info and space off of the after of this. The Mist guys are set up on sites, and there's a good setup here from Querty, and he's going to get himself two, and Windows gets another one on the other side of the map, which now means that there's only two WRG players left, and K gets an orb shot, doesn't manage to convert. Does he know that Chanchi is so close? I don't think he does, but he's going to keep backing up, which is the right call. And Chanchi is going to be able to get the first kill. But now there's a man right through the window. G-Spot, what are you doing? You madman. He just jumps through there with his knife out. Gets destroyed by Chanchi. So while they were looking like they had a really nice advantage, now it's back to a 2-on-3. Windows 10 in the outside position here. He's going to get the first, and he's going to get himself the second. And that's much better from Mist. They pick up their first round with 2K. Only two of them going down, so 3 players coming through, which is going to bode well for their economic situation. But WRG coming off the back of a 6-round win, or 6 in a row, doesn't mean that they have plenty of money in their own bank. They're going to carry on propelling themselves forward over here.
It's going to... it was a really nice hold towards ramp actually for Mist. You saw that WRG used the wall of smokes again, so they're trying to bait Mist, and then they actually hit ramp, and QWERTY was able to stand tall, but they're not really standing tall in the defense right now. WRG just charging their way onto the A bomb site through mouth, and they've been able to successfully entry their way onto the site, but they have lost numbers in the process. It's a 2 versus 2 as the bomb goes down, and both of the WRG players have made their way back into the hut, and they're wrapping around towards the squeaky door here. Got 4 flashes between the two of them. Must have util of their own as well, though. They got 2 smokes, a flash, and HE. They've got the kits as well. So this is a very doable retake right now for Mist. How do they use their smokes? No. A smoke has been missed by QWERTY. So that means Custom has free reign back on the entry. He uses his flashbang. The defuse is actually being stuck here. Oh, it's not. G-Spot gets all the defuse just before Ninjas comes around the corner, and he's going to be taking him down. So Mist, they complete the retake, and they string a second round together here.
Much better from them. Windows also activating, waking up, going from a 0-0-5 to a 4-for-6, which is considerably better.
Yes.
It's about 4 times better. Actually, 4 times 0 is still 0. So it's it's undefined in how much better it is.
There we go.
So that helps a lot. And WRG maybe overplaying their hands here. They had the site nicely set up, but then Custom takes an ill-advised peek towards the man at mouth. There was absolutely no reason for that, and it just seems like every time they underestimate Mist is like, hey guys, we're still in it, we're still in the server, and you can't be doing that.
100%. Though WRG, look how much money they have in the bank. They're able to full buy once again. They're getting some round loss bonus behind them as well, so they're in a very comfortable position right now when it comes to buying pretty much into the rest of the half here. Missed with no AWP, gonna have to get the job done with the rifles alone. They have got G-Spot with the AK, who's tasked with trying to lock down outside. And he's just going to continue to fall back to further passive angles as WRG progress. He knows that he needs to stay alive. His job right now is to find information and just maintain control. If he gets taken down here, everybody else's lives become surmountably more difficult on the A bomb sites and towards ramp. He has to stay alive, and that's why he's playing so passively and not taking any unnecessary fights. But he might get caught off guard by Ninjas. The flash comes through, and Ninjas can't capitalize quickly enough. G-Spot keeps himself alive. That's the vital key. Now WRG are going to be starting to make their way forward as they crunch onto the A bomb site, and they find the necessary entries to secure the although G-Spot finds himself 2 nice quick kills. Windows and QWERTY now tasked with trying to make this 2v3 happen. Reese, they wanted 2v2 in the previous round, but this one feels like it's a stretch further, especially now that Custom's already taken down one of the 2 players.
Yeah, now QWERTY, they know where he is. They've U-tooled him off. He can't really push through that smoke. He'll literally just be throwing his life away at this point. So exit frags is the name of his game at this point in time. Much better post-plant setup from WRG, not going vicious overextension to any peaks and stuff that they shouldn't be taking, and get themselves the 3v1. Custom on a 10 for 3, so he's popping off quite nicely for them. And his teammates are all positive as well. Doesn't hurt the situation, and they do restore their winning ways, taking it now to a 7-2.
Yeah.
But most importantly for Mist, on their side, is they're showing signs of life and are starting to acclimatize to the WRG standard of play. They did have 2 guys waiting for the outside push, one of them coming out of heaven to try and defend against that. So perhaps with a little bit more time, they can acclimatize, but it's a 7-2 scoreline. Time is not on their side, and rounds are definitely not on their side either. You want to see them at least go in with 6 into the next half. So WRG have actually secured their half, all things considered. 7 is nice for the T side.
Yeah, 7's great.
Take everything they can get, though.
Yeah. I mean, they're not going to be content with 7 if this half ended 8-7, just considering that they already picked up their 7 in the first 9. So they should be on track for at least double digits on their T side, especially considering this is just an eco for Mist. We see Tweaks getting aggressive in Hut once again. He used the exact same strat in the last eco round, and he was able to net himself a frag. WRG, though, closely clustered in lobby right now, making sure there's always trade potential, but Tweaks going a bit more aggressive, and Spaz will find him out with a nice headshot. So it's reaching that point where WRG are just almost out of reach on their T side. We know that Nuke is a heavily CT-sided map in general. Oh, okay, I'm so sorry, bro. Oh, man, you deserve... Yeah, okay. Oh, no! Oh, no, Custom! Oh, he does him the dirty. The 180 pivot. He takes him down, destroys his hopes and dreams, robs him like a thief in the night. And he walks away with the explosion behind him, and he doesn't even drop a bit of sweat.
And WRG just hitting everything right now. It's like they've just, like I said, they almost come through that warm-up period, and now it's really difficult. I mean, even when Chanchi did the entry there out of Hut, he just hit the pre-fire in heaven perfectly. His crosshair placement right on the enemy's head, and Custom just activating absolutely everywhere. The man's a turret. QWERTY does get a nice little kill though, and Chanchi is on the ramp area, but now he's going to have to run away because the whole WRG team is in pursuit. Does he survive? QWERTY, he's going to just...
Oh, Tuck okay.
Oh,
Desperately was hoping you'd be able to keep the AK. He's got enough money to drop an AWP now as well. I'd like to see Mist picking up an AWP. Just to aid their battle outside. I think they need that AWP, and that's exactly what's going to be dropped across to QWERTY. He's got a nice spawn as well. They need this AWP to just have more of a presence outside, take more fights. WRG are getting a lot of control for free right now, and they're just going to continue to try and build on that. But we see this wall of smokes coming through. QWERTY in position, but he's not going to be getting any outright information as to how many players are crossing. His molly gets extinguished by the smoke as well. He will have the auditory information if WRG continue charging, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Tweaks has already dropped down, but he's taken damage. G-Spot looking to try and get in the defense as well, but they're caught in transition. WRG already in the bomb site. They're already prepared and waiting for Mist to come through, and they've shut them down emphatically. Windows, though, rooted on the catwalk, hoping to catch them off guard. He'll be able to find the first, but he's completely blinded up, so he'll get taken down immediately afterwards. And Mist getting picked apart like a carcass on a dry African day. Only one player left, and he has no choice but to try and save the Sorp, and I'm not even sure he's going to be able to do that.
He gets now a shot onto Chanchi, eats some 338 Leopard to the teeth. And he's going to start doing the runaway, but is he going to make it? No, he's going to get caught out by Custom, who's coming in from the flank.
Who's 14-3, by the way, is Custom. Yeah. It's just like flexing on kids right now.
4.6 KD, 135 ADR. Just a casual day at the office for him, apparently. Yeah. 92 now.
Think about how there's been a lot of pros who have, you know, there's been a couple of pros who have been around the scene as long as Custom and have sort of like haven't been able to keep up the same skill level. Like Custom is still such a good player and he's been around for a long time. Like that's just a testament to his skill, right?
Like I said, I went to go see him on LAN like 15 years ago, Matt. Okay.
Oh god, I don't know if that story flatters him or compliments him, or rather brings into question his age. Or maybe more your age.
Why not both?
Well, why not both? The eco round here for Mist, just a couple upgraded pistols and some armor, but nothing else has really worked for them so far. So, I mean, maybe this is the recipe they need to try and get themselves into it. G-Spot's not going to be playing any further part in this round as he gets naded out. And WRG, they're just being clinical right now. Just moving across the map as a unit. Everybody's on point. Everyone's on the same page. And that's unfortunate, right? K would have stayed alive if QWERTY was able to get that kill a split second sooner. But I'm not sure it would change the course of the round all that much. 10-2, WRG reach double digits, and they are on a tear right now. So I think it's a good idea that we work into the giveaway. And we get the winner's name announced, Reese. So why don't we get that rolling, please, Mr. Admin?
Drum roll, please.
Let's get the name out there and see who's going to be taking home the clutch mouse pad, courtesy of Esports, 800mm by 400mm. It's got stitched edges, and it is Heinrich Cohen, or I'm sorry, I butchered your name, but I'm sure you're not going to mind right now because you have won yourself a mouse pad. Congratulations. Thank you for supporting the channel and being here, enjoying and supporting local lacquer Counter-Strike. Good to have you, and I hope that you enjoy your newfound mouse pad. So, back into the round, because WRG have already been able to secure a bomb plant. They are a man down, however, but Mist, they've got 2 orbs. Make that an even numbers situation. K, he's just looking at his fallen comrade's body. He just got blown up by the grenades, and I think all 3 of the Mist players are going to be coming from the same area. 1 from the vent, 2 from the mouth. WRG already in solid post-plant position. The crossfires are set up. Chanchy's going to be able to find a kill. There's a team kill as well. It's just Tweaks left in the 1v2. They know exactly where he is, and he's not going to be getting out of here alive. WRG absolutely ruthless and relentless.
Yeah, and that's 2 5 in a row permeated by 2 rounds for the boys Mist. So it's harsh days out here. Suffering 11-2. Oh, actually, it's a 6 and a 5. Sorry, my quick maths was bad right there. But WRG really showing their quality on this map with all of their setups and teamwork at the moment. It's looking really good. Even when they're in a 3v4, things like that double nade into heaven, it helps set them up really nicely. And Chanchy on the edge here with K and Tweaks. They're going to be waiting for somebody to unwittingly walk into their crosshairs. But
let's just appreciate this discipline from WRG, though, Reese. They're ahead 11-2. They're in an anti-eco round. I mean, I wouldn't I wouldn't fault them if they were all just being quite aggressive and taking fights, but they're being very disciplined right now. They're sticking to their structures. They're sticking to their protocols in their anti-eco rounds. Doesn't matter that they're far ahead on the scoreline right now. They're just continuing to play the way that's gotten them to this point. And why wouldn't you? It's great to see that they're just continuing with this discipline.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying in Dust 2. They just didn't give Mist the respect that they're actually due. with regards to aim in their own setups, and now that they are, it does look a lot better for them. And as I say, that G-Spot just rips Tuckbalk a new one to bring it back to a 3v3. K is extremely low, though, only 5 HP to play with, and a decent amount of util on the side of WRG. And Ninjask is going to get windows. K is going to go down, and now it's just G-Spot on the side, but he could be the snake in the grass. He's going to hear the bomb start being planted, but Spaz is aware, and he's going to take him down. And now WRG, I mean, just all of them playing really, really well. All of them getting positive KD. A lot of them nearly 2 KD. Really good ADRs and util stats around, all around. It's just looking a lot more structured, and it's like they had that little warm-up period, and now we are seeing the potential of WRG. Yeah, with a 12-2 on the T side, that's a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. That's not a lot. That's an absolute mountain load of rounds. It's just WRG are so far ahead of the game right now that they could not be happier. And again, they've been able to get down into secret, but this time we see that proactive defense. This is what I've been talking about, Reese. Actually getting somebody on the front lines with an AWP, with some sort of util to stop this approach. K repositions himself, and he takes down Tuckbalk as well, having a great impact with the AWP. He has lost a teammate, but he continues to reside in the bomb site. However, his teammates, they're falling like flies around him. He's done a lot of work to get his team in that advantageous situation, which is now diminished back into the 3v3.
I'd say it's more of a 2.1 with Ninjask on a very unhealthy 12. But
yeah,
just still a man, a set of
Oh
eyes.
no,
Chachi coming in from behind.
Oh, and
they knew he was there.
Okay, he's gone undetected, hiding in the corner of the bomb site. He's going to be taking Custom down, but he can't land the flick shot onto Ninjas. He so desperately needed that to leave his teammate G-Spot in a 1 versus 1. G-Spot, though, on the other side of the door here. Bomb just being planted in front of him. He doesn't want to give his position away. That smoke starts to fade, but now Ninjask is holding the angle with the AWP. Surely G-Spot heard him scoping in. The doors close. He's going to be swinging it open and takes Ninjask down immediately. Chanchi knows where he is. Chanchi holds all the advantages in the round right now. On top of the catwalk, he's going to swing up, but G-Spot lands the shots to secure the round for his team. The 1 versus 2 comes to fruition, and finally Mist have something go their way. They're able to find and secure a 3rd round to take into that second half, but my word, what a great half from WRG that was. Clinical. Really good stuff from them.
12-3 on a quite a CT-sided map is very well, let's just call it what it is. It's very, very good map.
Yeah.
And, yeah, they just well, it looks like they were definitely in a warm-up cycle on the last map. It's almost like no discredit to Mist, but it's almost like they didn't really, drill hard before and get their bots and their DM and stuff in, and they sort of relied on warming up in the server thinking it would be a cakewalk because of the team that they're facing. But then credit to Mist is you can't do that.
Yeah,
they can still run and gun with the best of them. So it's a bit of a disappointing half, I think, for Mist. But like you said, extremely clinical from WRG, not giving them anything, making sure that their util and their plays and stuff just are dialed up to 11, and they obviously want to take this one in stylish fashion.
Yeah, they can secure it right here, right now in the pistol round if they shut Mist down. Mist have been pretty good in their pistol rounds in this match so far. Like they've had some decent situations they found themselves in. They won the CT side pistol on Dust 2 as well, or the T side pistol. It eludes me right now. And they're going to be just trying to pump their way onto the same bomb site. They've got 4 players grouped up. They're all going to be going through the huts off the back of this flashbang, which actually fails, and Custom destroys Windows as he makes his way in. The trade is on the table, though. And this has opened things up for Mist to start making their way into the bomb site. Pond coming through as well. Tuckbalk runs out of ammo. Tweaks runs out of ammo. He pulls the knife out. Tuckbalk gets the reload in time, but Tuckbalk's teammates have been taken down, so now he's left in the 1 versus 2 clutch. There might be a kit somewhere on the side. He spotted out both of the players. He has an idea where he knows exactly where they both are, but he just can't connect on any of the shots right now. He's going to be able to get at the head of the flashbang, dancing around the silo. He's going to take down G-Spot, taps the defuse, but of course QWERTY knows it is just a tap. He makes his way forward, and Tuckbalk had not anticipated QWERTY to be so far forward there after he came off that defuse. So good job by Mist to keep themselves in the hunt here on Nuke as they pick up that all-important pistol round.
Yeah, crucial for them, especially when you're facing a 12-4. You trip up now, you've got to. It's just a bad situation. You're staring at a 14 to whatever you have at the time, and if that's only sort of, I would say, sub 9 rounds at this point, they need some good momentum. They need to string about 5 in a row before they can even consider losing one. And Tweaks gets a nice Mac 10 headshot to start things off. Catches the man out trying to aggress with the Swag 7. So that's going to be the end of the round for Spaz, who had the only real gun on their team. And there are 2 AKs and a Galil over on the side of Mist. So definitely a strong position for them with 4 CTs left to contest with. They're going to go for the top hits and they're going to push through here. And Ninjask is on the angle, but he's not going to hit any of your shots.
That's unfortunate. Yeah.
Okay, they're going to be able to get some good damage in. And now it's just Tuckbulk and Chonchi in a 2-on-4. Most of the guys that are competing do have guns, but Tuckbulk picks up the Swag 7 and picks up Tweak's head along with it.
Yeah, K on low HP here towards the vent as well. Chonchi might be able to catch him off with this 5-7. That's an AK he picks up. God, I've seen these situations unravel for Mist before, but it seems like WRG are going to be content with just looking to save their weapons and perhaps find some exit frags. Chonchi still hovering around, but lest we forget, this was a force buy for WRG Reese, and Mist have been able to avoid it relatively unscathed. As I say that, though, Chonchi takes down 2 players. Oh, man. He just did so much economic damage. He might even be able to find another one here as well. K, just on the right-hand side here. Oh, he's going to be taking down Chonchi. That is very unlucky. Oh, God. If Chonchi found that 3rd kill, I reckon we'd be seeing WRG force buying here. They might even go for the force buy. It would be overly aggressive, but I could understand the logic if they decided to go for it. They're not going to, and that means Mist should be making this 12-6.
And this is what Mist needs to do. They need to keep doing this through the next buy though as well. And just gets a nice trade there. Windows 10 retrades him out. Tweaks gets another kill, so it's down to 2-on-4. Mist just needs to play their hand cleverly, but Tuckbulk is going to say no on that life for Tweaks. Windows 10 does get customs now. It's just Tuckbulk left. He's on a 1-on-3. A gun save here would be good for them. Maybe he wants one more kill though, just to upset the economic standpoint of Mist. But playing it slow here and careful is definitely the better way to play it. Going to jam himself that AK, which is definitely going to help their buy. But now Mist face the most difficult round I think that they're going to face. And if they can win it, they actually might be in with a chance here.
Yeah. You mean going into the next gun round?
Yeah, because it's going to be a full buy, and they are going to have an AK.
That's going to be like the first real test of the second half, I suppose, after the pistol round. If Mist can win this next gun round, then we start asking a few questions. Yeah, I agree completely. Makes it 12-7, anti-eco 12-8, and the scoreline looks far better than 12-3 did a couple minutes ago. So, as you say, big round here for Mist to prove to themselves that they have what it takes to be competitive on this T side against the might of WRG. Tuckbulk has got the AWP. He's going to be making his way outside. Not normally the person we see with the AWP. Keen to see what he's going to be bringing to the table. I really hope we see more of a star player role out of Tuckbulk in this WRG team. I look at the team and I wonder who the star player is going to be. They don't really have any out-and-out star player in inverted commas. And I want to see Tuckbulk going back to his OG days of being a star player. We all know what a crazy computer gamer he is in general. And he's a very good Counter-Strike player as well. So let's see how it plays out with him in the AWP in this round.
Because he converted from COD.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's why it's so good with the Tech 9, because he's just like used to having those types of pistols. Not even joking. Going to have a job to do is Spaz right now, and he's actually opted to hang around here, using the smoke from Mist to play around them right now. Windows is going to come out on the opposite side, and Spaz opts to take him down immediately. I think some trigger discipline would have worked very nicely for him there. Now off the back of that Mist, they're going to continue making their way towards this B bomb site. Util coming in. Unfortunately, the double molly is going to cost them. They don't have any further mollies to try and aid their cause here in the post plant, but they have been able to get the bomb down at the bare minimum and force WRG into a retake situation. K gets caught out, did not do his KZ before for the game. Tweaks, though, certainly did shoot his bots as he lands a nice headshot. Tuckborg dropping down with the AWP. Oh my god, Tuckborg, you disgusting, dirty AWPer, you. Lands a great shot, and now it's just G-Spot left in the clutch. Both of the players converging on him. They'll be taking him down. WRG make the retake happen. My god. If Tuckborg gets taken down there, Mist probably win that round.
Oh, 100%, man. But it's the dastardly duo doing it again. It's custom and Tuckborg. And even the after of that there, you know, with Tuckborg making a noise with the AWP so that custom can get up nice and close. He throws the nade so that there's another sound cue which distracts the T, makes him turn around, and custom jumps down on him. You can't just get cohesion like that. It's something that's got to be developed over a long time together.
Yeah.
And White Rabbit picking up this duo, just I think it's still a strong duo as they're showing here. Both of them getting over 2 KD nearly. I mean, it's looking good. And now Tuckborg trained on the angle. He hits that, and he takes down the man. QWERTY gets one on Chanchi though. There's a man towards heaven which they still need to compete with, but 4 of them are going to get across, even though they have very low HP. But there are some automatic rifles here for them to contend with, and when you're on low HP, that's not what you want. One straight bullet and that's your life gone. So
yeah.
It is going to be slowed down here by a really good smoke, and they're going to actually look to go back up onto the bomb site. This is a really good play from them, actually a really good call. The RGL realizing that there's been an over-rotation down onto the B bomb site, and they do manage to get a plant. So even though they might be losing this round, they are going to get a big economic win on after that.
Yeah, great job by Mist putting those Tech 9s to use, playing to their strengths in the eco round, just asserting dominance on the A bomb side, but the job's not done just yet. WRG raining into the side, Custom with the AK leading the charge. He gets another kill. The time's been ticking now. There's only a Kitcher on Tuckborg. He's gonna have to stick the defuse. Oh man, it seemed like it was too good to be true for Mist. They'd been able to get themselves into the site, but they incurred so much damage in the process, Reese. So it just meant that when that retake came through for WRG, they just had to land the body shots to secure the frags. And although they incur a lot of economic damage to WRG, they at least make sure they win that round. However, it has meant, as you alluded to, that WRG are in a bit of an economic scratchy situation. If Mist can win this round, they reset their economy, but that's not what it's all about right now, resetting WRG's economy, because Mist, they just have to straight up, plain and simple, put rounds on the board now to be competitive here on Nuke. This game has reached that do or die stage for them. Lose this round, they probably go home.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is they're also playing for their tournament life here. They lose this, it's over, and unfortunately they will be out of the EGL One. And it's been a good run for them so far. I mean, all things considered, even going into the losers bracket, they've never been really throttled on any of the maps and lost. They actually haven't lost with single digits yet. I think this will be the first map that, assuming they do, and it's really, really hard picture for them at a 6-14 to White Rabbit Gaming. It's a tall order, and Chanchi's going to make it just that little bit more grim as he pushes outside and manages to get a kill. Now he knows that QWERTY is actually still up there, and QWERTY's now put in a horrible position between 2 people up on that side. Tuckborg's in mouth with the AWP, which is not something that you want to be facing at this point in time, and there are 2 men towards Tweaky,
oh
but
my god,
there's even more people around him to support, and Tweaks does manage to take him down, and now they're going to push straight out, but they think Task could be the one to undo the good work they have done so far.
Man.
He's going to get himself a 2K, and now it's just G-Spot left in the 1-on-2.
That's so unfortunate. That was a 3 versus 2 for Mist. They have the man advantage, and they push into the bomb site where both of the remaining WRG players are. So it literally it means that they are not even able to play to that advantage at all. Now it's just G-Spot left in the clutch, and he's got no time to work with here. He gets taken down by Spaz as well, 15-6. That's unfortunate for Mist. They managed to find that quick flurry of frags, but they cannot capitalize on it. And it is now map and match point. Mist staring down the barrel of being eliminated from the Esports EGL One 2020 main event by WRG, who will then progress to the next round of the lower bracket and reach one step closer to the prize money.
And a bit of a grim picture here for Mist. They do a force buy. They catch some Utah on the start of the round. They do get an opening kill onto Chanchi, which is going to help. But Tuckbook is there once again on the angle with his AWP. He just hits those, unfortunately for you, Mist. And they're just going to slow them right down. And it is a 4v4, so still a lot to play for. Ninjask on the angle is going to spot out Windows 10 before he can peek. Now it's a 3v4. It's just getting more and more grim. Make that a 2v4.
Oh, I'm liking this.
Another one.
Tuckbook on the AWP. I'm liking this, man. I think this is definitely something White Rabbit Gaming could tap into. Speaking about tapping, that Desert Eagle of Custom is tapping away on the A bomb site. Ninja's going to chime in with one of his own, and that's all she wrote for Mist as WRG get across the line in 2-0 fashion after securing Nuke 16-6 in their favor. They were in control for the entirety of that map, and you can just see exactly why they decided to pick it, a playground of their own, and they progress in the bracket. Commiserations to Mist, who are eliminated as well, but a nice learning experience from them, Reese. Coupled with that learning experience, they showed quite a lot of prominence on Dust 2. They lost 16-10. On top of that, they had 2 anti-eco rounds that lost, which actually should have made that map even closer. So a couple unanswered questions from our side. What if they won those anti-ecos? Could they have pushed it further? Maybe snuck in a map win? We'll never know.
I definitely think so, man. And you know, like I say, it could be attributed to that warm-up period that WRG went through. But thank you very much, Mist, for joining us for this tournament and coming to compete and stuff. We really appreciate your time and effort and energy that you've put into it. And better luck sort of next time to you and the guys. And definitely some promising players. I think they have some good IGL stuff happening there, some good mid-round calls and stuff. They just need to grow that confidence, and then they'll definitely be back with more good CS for us. But that is the first game of this lower bracket round 3.
Yes,
we're going to go to WRG, and it means that they move forward and now into some very heated territory, because as the pools get slimmer, the talent gets hotter.
Yeah, we got another match on Thursday, Reese, and quite a good match at that as well. Another lower bracket game. Just looking to confirm here exactly who it's going to be. It's going to be Akasi versus Royalty. So we saw how good Akasi looked in their game like last week. They were really convincing. So I'm keen to actually see Akasi going up against Royalty and sort of testing their mettle against one of the better teams in South Africa. With their tournament lives on the line. That's going to be on Thursday, guys. Same place, same time, 7:30 on the Evesports YouTube channel. We're going to be having a great lower bracket match, but that's all we have for you tonight. Thank you so much to everyone who's joined us and supported the stream. We got another giveaway, or we're going to be giving away 2 more prizes on Thursday as well. We're going to give away a 250 Rand Steam voucher, as well as a Neo Eve Tech backpack as well. So if you didn't win tonight, don't be disparaged. You're going to have another opportunity to win on Thursday. Reese, any final words before we bid farewell to the good people?
No, thank you all for coming and joining in with us. We will be here twice a week until the 6th of December, pretty much.
There we
go. Keep yourselves dialed in, because there's plenty more prizes to be given away. Perhaps an even bigger one on finals weekend, which I'm
you keep just dropping these little nuggets of information, Reese.
I want to keep people excited about the tournament.
Yeah, I like it.
The community.
100%.
Yeah, guys, thank you to everybody for joining us.
Yeah.
He's signing off.
Yeah, guys, have a fantastic rest of your evening from myself, Hayes, and my co-caster, Wookie Triple XL. We bid you guys farewell. Have a great rest of your evening. We'll see you again on Thursday. Until then, keep well.